welcome to the Tournameta podcast, number 9. We're so close to number 10. And just like how you're so close to climaxing, you feel the best right before. And that's why we've got Ben Gold as our number 9 guest, because he's that special, as every special guest is. He was our first one, and you never forget your first. And here he is again. How are you, Ben?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Yeah.
I can't believe it's been 9 already.
Yeah, right? How have we
Wow.
made it this far? How have we done it? Mostly Jet, I'll be real. Yeah.
Jet's the MVP, that's for sure.
And good guests.
You
yeah.
do some stuff, I guess, but
Yeah, I just...
mostly Jet.
Honestly. Anyway, so you've just been to America. That's why we had you back on. The biggest reason why we had you back.
Yeah. So there'll be a third time after Congo Saga then?
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
no, I'm just kidding.
if you bomb out in pools, what are we going to talk about?
I can give you a 3-hour rant, that's for sure.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Just the pure salt of it.
Yep.
Yeah,
if I have to play any more Palatinos or Wolves,
yeah,
that's going to be the end of me.
So that was the highlight or the main thing that you took back from America then, right? Just the fact that there are some characters that just let mid-level players...
Yeah. I mean, I guess like the main thing I took from it is just like how they play differently to us.
Yeah.
Well, I should say they're a lot more like execution based. Like they're just really good at like, they know where to put their character, they know where to plant their aerials, and like whether it's on your shield or whether, you know, it's kind of in front of your shield, you know, that age-old don't hit your character, hit where they will be, you know, that kind of thing.
Right.
They're very good at that. They know like what moves to abuse and how to use it. And, you know, landing aerials as close to the ground as possible, like that.
Yeah.
They're a lot more practiced, where we don't really practice that much. Like you ask most people, and like, when's the last time you played? And so, oh, the last local I was at.
Like Ari,
you know.
we had him on last time. He's been making huge like splash, and it's like, how many times you practice? Oh, it's like twice a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll be more than most.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
myself included.
yeah.
You know, I don't really play so much these days.
You are
in my
speaking for
spare
a lot
time.
of people. Some of them might be like, "Fucking, I play every day."
Yeah, exactly. Other people do play every day, you know, and you know, Shadru plays like Wi-Fi every day, that kind of thing, and
Yep.
you know that pays off immensely as well.
But then
with
you
his
can see it,
improvement.
right? Shadru is practiced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Like his combos especially,
He knows them
which
all.
is similar to like Americans as well. Like they would never drop a combo on me if they got the starter. They would finish it all the way through, and then I'd be at 0 to 80 or you know something like that.
Well, I mean, it's not that hard to finish combos when you're playing Palatino and Wolf.
That is true. Well, like admittedly, yeah, like against like Bowser as well, it's easier, but it's still, you can still see it. That it's just that bit cleaner, you know, that kind of thing. Where you know I might play an S here or something like that, and they'll still drop their combos, or the Palatinas might only get 2 or 3 nairs instead of like 5, or you know that kind of thing. And it all makes a difference. But I don't know, I found that was the largest thing. The Japanese players play different again from when I was at Thunder Smash. I got to play Shuton a bunch.
Yeah.
And I think he's like number 3 at the moment. He was like really clean like the Americans, but almost in a different kind of way. I can't really describe it very much.
It's that high level stuff that it's hard to put a finger on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was also like very smart as well. Like I don't want to sound bad, but like when I played the Japanese players, I felt like I was being outplayed, like mentally and input wise.
Yeah.
Where against like a lot of the mid levels, it's like I'm struggling against them, even though I feel like I'm playing a lot smarter than them.
Yeah.
But
you're making better decisions, but
they're just inputs
are better.
Strong,
Yeah.
like a strong flowchart kind of thing. I've said this to a few people already, but like the best way I can describe it is like we're playing chess, and I'll open with my move, and then they just have a little, you know, a chess book next to them, like on various strategies, and they just they're reading the step by step on how to do the Queen's Gambit or something like that.
Yeah.
And instead of responding to what I'm doing, they're just each turn doing the next step that they're supposed to do
To their game
but
plan.
because that's a strong strategy, it just
Always works.
It works well against what I'm doing anyway.
Especially when they've got like, you know, the characters can pull off the strategies. That's why they probably gravitate towards more of like Wolf and Palutena, because then they can do those strategies that are just like really good.
Exactly.
They can ignore what you're doing.
I think those characters, especially like in the US where everyone's already so good at like execution and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those characters are just a little bit more oppressive in terms of what they can do when you're so good at like abusing their stuff.
So you said you've told a lot of people about the differences, like between, like how to describe it. What are you bringing back more than just like the differences between them? Or, like, are you like talking to some people like, hey, you play Wolf, this is what you should do more? Like, what do you think that the biggest things that you can bring back to the scene to help them grow have been?
Unfortunately, I was only there for like 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
So I
Fair
think
enough.
it actually came up in one of the Twitter questions as well, about like how we can grow and learn from being over in the US and stuff like that. And I think when you're only there for a week or two, unfortunately the experience, even though you want to learn and you are still like learning and getting experience, I think it's much more so just a display of your current skill level.
Yeah.
Where someone like at Lowe's who's going to be there for 6 weeks, that's an amazing opportunity.
He's going to learn a lot.
6 weeks to soak in all that information. Where when we have Jay Dizzle over for whatever saga it was that he beat Charlie to King, it's kind of like, that's sick. He's good enough to beat Charlie to King, but there wasn't.
He might not be able to pick stuff up that's like gonna last ages.
Exactly. And he even said that himself. It's like it was a really amazing opportunity for me to be able to do that, but I don't feel like I learned a huge amount from being there. But I don't know. It was still like a really good experience overall. It was definitely humbling. Just kind of all these players where it's like in Australia, it's kind of like, oh, I'm pretty good. That's nice to know.
Did you think like going over, you're like, my K rule is just gonna wipe people clean, or did you have a suspicion that it was gonna be super tough?
I think how I was thinking of it before, it's like I'm either gonna do pretty well or terribly. Like I'll either struggle against literally everyone and like go game 3 with everyone, or I'm gonna just jank some good wins because they don't know the matchup. But especially once I got there, it's like, and the execution, that level of just being able to play the game.
It was like they didn't need to know the matchup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That they could just play the game well enough to avoid my cheese, be aware of just like anything my character can really do, and they'll just, they can play around it fine without like lots of matchup experience.
So you've fully given up on the K rule now?
Well,
after that experience.
I'd say so, but I'd like to think I'd already basically given up on him before the event.
Yeah.
It was mostly because of that event that I kept playing him. Like I'd mostly been Bowser ever since June.
Yeah.
Maybe early July. And like, he's not very good.
He's still in your heart.
He's still in my heart. Like, he's really fun.
Yeah.
But he's just, even for the longest time here, like, I don't think I could win a local with him anymore unless none of the top 5 were in attendance in our state.
Wow.
And even then, last QSS that I went to, I played K Rule in pools. I was going to go all K Rule that event.
Yeah.
But I went game 3 with every single person in the pool,
and, you're like,
and then lost to DFS. And it's like, okay, I think I'll have to go Bowser in pros. And then I ended up winning that tournament, which to me like just speaks like the sheer difference.
Yeah.
Because I would have just gone 0-2, like,
yeah,
with K Rule.
That's rough.
But like, it's kind of, I don't know, it kind of annoyed me when, well, I don't know, like say, in person, the Americans were like very nice, like, oh, you're the Australian, you're the K Rule.
Yeah.
They were very nice to me. But just like, you look in the chats and stuff like that, it's like, lol, that's the best in Australia. I was like, I'm not even the best in Australia. I'm not even the best in my region. But there's just like that misconception of it. And it's like, yeah, I can't really do that well in my own state. It's not like I do super amazingly here and then suddenly, bomb out in America, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of frustrating, like just weenies and gyms and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of them in the chat.
Yeah.
When you're talking about chat, are you talking about like Twitch chat?
Twitch chat,
dude.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them. I'm talking to you guys. I'm pointing at you now. Don't listen to you guys.
Australia has it really good.
Yeah.
Like everyone in Twitch chat, just about, we know, and they're like nice people. They're nice about it. Where
Don't give them credit.
in America,
They'll
there's just
turn on you.
so many random people that because they don't know you and you don't know them, they feel like they can just type whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
And it's just a really bad mentality of just.
I mean, that can happen on Twitter a lot. We've gone into like a lot of Twitter bouts, Australia and the US, which is random US players, because they just like will collectively shit on us as on a region.
Yeah.
And like somebody always gets really pissed off, and then it's just like, you know.
Well, I think like some Australians, I think Daddy Ganny is a good one. Where he'll generally speak his mind.
Yeah.
And on more than one occasion, he's kind of basically come out against a like a top player or a top personality and started an argument with them.
Yeah.
And like, it's funny. I'll give him that.
They're always funny.
But it's not a good look for the Australian scene as a whole.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it does depend on the person
who it is,
and it can be fairly damaging. Like especially
sometimes for them though, right? Like the most humble player.
Yeah, that was
a really nice guy.
I'm a little mixed on that one personally because he does seem like a nice
cool guy. Yeah,
you
Meister
know.
seems like a cool guy. I'm not
It
gonna lie.
was just that one interaction that was a bit like. You know, I saw him at Nightmare on Smashville, and he was eating lunch, and I like sat down at the table next to him. It was kind of like a big table, so I wasn't like right next to him.
Yeah, you didn't just slip up. And be
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Hey.
I ate my lunch, and I was thinking about just like saying hi because it would just be cool.
Yeah.
You know, nice to meet him. But I just thought it would just be a bit awkward. Like, hey, I'm the guy who like made the tweet about that.
Yep.
How you were being a jerk that one time. It would just it would just be awkward and like, he might not even want to talk to me that much.
Right.
So I didn't really want to impose so much. Yeah.
Sorry,
my apologies, Jet.
If you heard the beeping in the background, it was a computer that he came prepared with some answers for. And Jack got so frustrated. He's like, what the hell was that? He came over and closed the computer. So we had a little bit of that.
My apologies.
But yeah, overall, you reckon a lot of the Americans are good? Like the top players? A lot of the ones that you met were
like
actually quite nice?
Like nice people?
Yeah.
Good?
Okay, here we go. Ready to put them on blast.
All right.
Who's going down first?
So there's like different levels, right? So in Australia, I think we kind of have like the people that we consider like the fellas, like the really cool people that we'd want to hang out with outside of Smash. You just like good friends and like people that are basically unanimously agreed on to be like, yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. Me, of course.
Exactly.
No.
And where most of the top players, like they were very nice. It was really enjoyable getting to meet them.
Yeah. But they each have.
I think like there's just a big culture clash kind of thing. Like I don't think a lot of the American players and the American top players would be able to just
slip right in.
Slip right in with the Australians and just kind of get the humor. That have the same sort of presence. Coney's a good one though. Like Coney, he slips right in. Like everyone loved him at Big Win Champs.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Other ones, I don't know. But overall, like that was a really nice experience getting to meet them all. They were all very nice. It was difficult communicating with the Japanese players.
Yeah.
But T especially, like I couldn't understand a word he was saying. But
poor guy.
But I could just tell, like, from his expressions, even his delivery and the language that I couldn't understand whatsoever. It was funny.
Yeah.
Like, I just know he's a funny guy.
Oh.
Just from looking at him. Like,
that's good news.
Apparently he's 21, which I do not.
Wow.
I still don't believe that. He looks.
He
looks like 16 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if I'm being had. But he's like a really nice guy. And I that's when I played him in the K Rule Ditto, and he like 2-stocked me or something, and he's just like. Me, best K Rule. It was so funny. And then he just like walked off and left.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was
Went out to get some Raising Canes. I think it's called Raising Canes. It's like a fast food joint which does like chicken tenders and like chips, and they have the special sauce and like Texan bread. It's quite nice. Not like it's not gourmet or anything like that. No, it's super nice, but for what it is, they're the one. Blood Players backed me up there.
Yeah.
It was quite nice, like for a $9 meal or that kind of thing. It was quite nice. I think one of the questions might have actually wanted me to do
with the American food, right?
Yeah, the tier list of the American food,
Yeah.
which we could get around to.
Well,
later
that's
if
one of
we
the best
wanted,
things
yeah.
about going to America, though, right?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
just like variability and like everything is so good.
Yep.
I mean,
I
don't
wanted
know.
to try and experience all of the fast food chains, that kind of thing. Like,
yeah. So
Well-
you had heaps.
yeah.
You wanted-
Well, not heaps, unfortunately, but
Did you
I
have like a goal to go to like a certain amount?
yeah.
or-
It's like if I passed one, I'd be like, oh, okay, I'll try and
Yep.
try and fit it in because I didn't really have the budget for like doing too much stuff.
Yep.
But I went to In-N-Out. I went to Auntie Anne's. It's like a pretzel place. It's like slightly different. I had it's like box burger. No, it's something like Jack in a Box, but it's like
Not Jack in the Box.
it's not Jack in a Box, and it's like it's burger.
Because
isn't
there
it?
is a
Somewhere,
place
something
called like
that.
Jack in the Box.
Maybe. I mean, it might be called Jack in the Box. My memory
That
is
might be it.
terrible.
Yeah.
I had Popeyes the last time I was there, like
How
two,
was that?
2 years ago.
I had Popeyes in Malaysia once.
That was that was good.
Yeah.
I feel like the Americans kind of generally overhype it. Yeah, Jack.
Yeah,
in the,
Jack in
yeah,
the
it was
Box.
Jack in the Box. They kind of
Thank you,
overhype it,
actually.
like they say, "Oh, it's godlike," it's amazing, you
Yeah.
know. And then you kind of go there, and it's like, yeah, it was fast food.
Yeah.
You know,
You get there and you're like, you know what's called like KFC in Queensland?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you have KFC over there?
I did have KFC over there, and
What's it like?
it is definitely like C tier or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
The generalist.
It goes down. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is. And it's like Queensland or maybe just Australia in general. But I don't think I've had much in the other states. But here it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, apparently Australia and Japan is like the best places you can
For
get
KFC.
KFC.
They
Everywhere else,
focused all of their
I don't
power.
know. Maybe we just have fresher chicken here,
I don't know.
sourced more
Yeah.
locally. I don't know. But I don't know. It was even just it was a different experience. Like KFC there, it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Like the chicken is sure. But you go there and like we have our boxes like the thick cut chips,
Yes.
the chicken sole. They have wedges, and it's like I don't want
Ooh.
wedges. I want the Australian
That ain't right.
Australian chips.
Yeah, yeah.
The
McCain chips.
The gravy and mash is different. It comes separately. So like there's a tub of mash, a tub of gravy, and it's like really watery gravy,
And you mix it in.
and you mix it in, and the mash like tastes different as well. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is. I
Not real potato.
well, to be fair, ours isn't either. It's powdered, but I still enjoy it a hell of a lot for powdered mash.
Fair calls.
Where in America, I don't know what it is, but it all. I want to say it's creamier, which like should be good, but it's not like
It's not the
it's
good
not it's not
creamier.
a good creamy.
Yeah, alright.
I don't know how to describe it. Mac and cheese. You get mac and cheese
Matt at
with it.
KFC?
Yeah.
I just got a
And
little
it's
mad.
like-
I
it's
just
like,
got a little angry.
What the hell is this? I paid money for this. You
But
know?
yeah, right. Mac
Yeah.
and cheese?
Yeah.
That's probably the stuff that they get at the supermarket as well, like the powdered stuff.
Exactly.
Come
And
on.
it's like, I swear it's like just as expensive in US dollars as it is Australian dollars, which really means it's even more
Yeah, that-
expensive over there. So it's a bit cursed.
The chicken's good though.
They do the chicken.
Was it dry?
is-
Because I went okay.
I think
I'm gonna put
I think it might have been a bit drier. Like
New
it
Zealanders.
could have just been that one. I'm not sure.
yeah.
But I feel like the chicken was basically on par with Australian chicken.
Okay, that's good.
I didn't get spicy though. I always get spicy in Queensland
Yeah.
because apparently we're the only state in Australia that has all year round spicy.
What?
Everywhere else has like you can only get it in winter or whatever.
Why would you not be? Okay.
It-
Yeah, that shows how much of a Queenslander I am because I had no idea that even
I think
that fact existed.
my guess if I had to take it would be like, just the spicy taste of the whole
Yeah,
like
yeah.
oh white people don't like spicy that kind of thing.
Right.
Since we get like so many Korean and Chinese internationals
Yeah.
in Queensland especially like more than any other state like especially UQ
Yeah.
QT.
They love
I think
spicy.
and they
It's part of
love
their
spicy.
cuisine.
I think it's just a lot. There's more demand for it.
Yeah.
So then they're able to just do it all year round. Where I think like that would be my guess if I had to guess. Just like the different demographic.
Yeah. I mean, that's
But-
probably what they base it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably what they've based it on.
Yeah.
In the very least.
If it sells well, they'll do it more.
Yeah.
And then, that's. Oh yeah, you had Burger King. I like Burger King. I don't like Hungry Jack's.
Did I have Burger King?
You didn't have Burger King?
I might not have. There was a Burger King down the road.
Oh my god.
But I opted for Wabu Grill and
Okay.
it's like a.
That's pretty good.
It's like one of those. Do we have that here? I've
No.
never. Yeah. Okay. I didn't think so. It's like a
No.
sort of a healthy alternative kind of thing. Like it's like a Japanese curry bowl. Not very Japanese at all, really.
Yeah.
But it's just rice and a bit of lamb or chicken, your choice, that kind of thing. And it's like it was nice.
Burger King
But it was for what it was.
is actually king of the burgers. Ashley has no idea. It's actually like the best. It's not C tier. It's really, really good. But you got to get the right burgers. They have like a crazy amount. Like I think there's a steakhouse here, and if you get the steakhouse here, it just falls apart.
Right.
But for
Over
some
there.
reason, yeah, it like the bread doesn't turn all like soggy and stuff. Like they've got
Okay.
something
They've
figured out.
mastered the craft over there.
Exactly. They are actually king of the burgers over there.
Well, I found it interesting. Not to go back to KFC completely, but just for one thing, is
Yeah.
that the variety was so much less. Like when I looked at the menu, maybe I just didn't know what to get, but when I saw the menu, there was like 3 things to get.
Yeah. Okay.
Where here it's like, oh, you can get this or that, or, that.
Whole bunch
And
of
it
stuff.
was just like a way better experience in Australia. But Burger King, the only thing I saw of them was we had a sesh. I was staying with Captain Andrew, K9, S Bruce, and Kiraflax, all very nice people.
Yep.
Captain Andrew.
Shout out to those guys.
Shout out to those guys. Captain Andrew was super nice, super accommodating. You know, drove me to Nightmare on Smashville. Like, you know, all that was really nice. K9 and Kiraflax are also really kind. Like, they're completely different to how you may perceive them from all the, you know, the rage compilation videos.
But they always have healthy rage. That's the thing that always pisses me off. People see rage and then they go like, oh, that guy's obviously toxic, or they laugh at those guys. And they accept it to some point, like, but their rage is never like directed at the other person almost.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the time when you see toxic rages.
It's frustration at the game and themselves.
Exactly. Yeah, they like pop off and throw a chair, but they're never like throwing a chair at the other guy.
Yeah.
And then being like, I hate you.
Yeah.
K9 versus Con. That might be an exception. I think I remember that one. But that was just like a rivalry, and they're both rages, and they were both okay with what was going on, as far as I know.
Like even talking about, well, not even talking about them, but just talking to other people, and you might experience that they might do one of their pop offs like in the venue, while you're playing friendlies, and that everyone in SoCal is like really understanding of it. They're just
super passionate.
They're just so passionate about the game. Like they both literally want to be number 1 in the world.
Yeah.
Which is another difference in the from US to Australia.
Everyone in the US wants to
everyone
be
wants to be number 1
best.
in the US,
Yeah.
number 1 in the world. Like here, I feel like we don't have that same like goal that we set out to achieve. It's like, oh, we want to get good, or we want to be the best in our state, maybe in Australia, but being the best in the US is not on anyone's radar.
Well, I mean, it's tough, right?
Which is like understandable as well because it's so, you know,
But how many
just that
people from
different mindset.
Australia have even gotten close to being a top player in the world?
Exactly.
That's probably one of the things that holds people back from not just Queensland, but all over Australia, who are like, I don't know if I want to be the best in the world. Like, that seems like not the best goal.
Yeah.
But yeah,
especially like in a scene where the esports infrastructure isn't there to really help support that journey.
Yeah, exactly.
To become.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet, at least. And like that's not even in considering, you know, our geographic location and all of the other problems that we would encounter trying to do that.
we're getting there.
We are getting there.
We're getting there. I mean, somebody went to a couple of tournaments recently in America. I don't know. They had tried some KFC. Apparently, it's not as good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spud has got close in Melee. Feels
Yes.
bad. Yeah.
Spud is like number 30 to 40 right now, probably. Like he's
Wow.
absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because Melee again is a bit different to Ultimate, because I was just about to bring up that Japan is nowhere near as relevant in Melee as they are in Ultimate.
Yes.
And Smash 4.
Yeah.
There's like 2 good guys, Amsa, who is like now like top 10 in the world or something like that.
Yeah.
And then like Rudolph,
Yeah, I was going to say.
which Spud beat like 2.5 years ago now. Like he already surpassed Rudolph like quite a while ago, you know.
Rudolph's
So,
the guy who, he sits funny.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. He does
But
like
a really
he
cool
either
guy.
leans forward or sits cross-legged or lies across 3 chairs, that kind of thing.
But he's very cool.
He is very cool.
Yeah. You're saying that like maybe the fact that their scene is entirely devoted to a single game maybe has something to do with it. Like they
Yeah.
don't have a lot of effort put into the Melee.
Yeah,
But they still have Melee players. It's only like 2 of them are actually
good.
super popping off.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure like
Like how do they do it?
Well, how they do it, and B, like, why that is.
Population
Because-
of 90 million might help.
Well, my thing is, like, my point is, I should say, it's like more so the difference between how good they are in Ultimate and how good they are in Japan in Melee.
yeah.
Because like they obviously have the ability to be
be good at
insane
either of
in
them.
Melee as
Yeah.
well, but they're only really good in Ultimate.
Yeah.
Like, it may be a bit of a stretch saying this, but I think Australia could very well be better than Japan in Melee.
Ooh.
Especially with, like...
Especially if you took out, like, AMSA.
Yeah. I think, like, overall as a country...
If we did a 40v40 crew battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
that
might
kind of thing.
might be able to take
like
him out.
we also have Joshman,
Yeah.
formerly Sora, where he'd be a top 100 right now.
Wow.
Like maybe 80, 90. I'm not super knowledgeable on like
The Melee scene.
the Melee scene, but he'd definitely be top 100 potential right
Any
now.
Melee heads in the chat might help us out. Couple.
But-
no.
And it's kind of like there was actually something that came up about like win streaks in Australia, and Spud currently has not lost a set to anyone since BAM 9.
Oh,
Um,
that's insane.
yeah, and hasn't been outplaced by an Australian since like BAM 7 or something like that. So
Jesus Christ.
yeah,
Yeah, so he's clearly the best.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's clearly the best, and that's why it's both interesting and heartbreaking for Joshman, who's also very good.
Yeah,
But just on face value, like you could never see it
Yeah.
because he's up against a number 30 in the world every
Yeah.
single time. But he has gone from pretty good
Yep.
to like now he's like a serious like, if you do well against him, that's like sort of insane because you just did well against a top 100 in the world player kind
Yep.
of thing. So like even though the skill gap is still there, Joshman has been catching up and up and up and up and up
Yeah.
to Spud. As
What-
well as
what-
Spud also still improving as well.
Yeah. I mean, this comes back to the idea of, like when we were talking about K9 and Co, about like their goals, right?
Mm.
So Joshman's obviously got a goal ahead of him that's super like far in the way of Spud.
Yeah.
But that still is a goal that is like very tangible, right? It's
Yep.
like if Spud did it, so then I can.
Exactly.
And so he's able to climb his way up. So you reckon like, do you think Australia is close to breaking through in some of those respects in Melee, where we'll be able to like, send maybe some of our best players like J Dizzle over again, and having people over
other
there.
people as
yeah,
well, yeah.
Do you think we're close, or do you think we're going to take a while?
I think we're pretty close. Like,
Yeah,
so
that's what I like to
it's
hear.
one of those things. Like, if Melee can do it, Ultimate can do it.
Right.
That is a 100% truth and fact. Like, it
Alright.
is doable.
Okay.
You even see, I think Australia is already quite good. We're an interesting case because like Australia gets memed on so much for being like, oh, they're a garbage scene.
Yeah.
There's no
Aren't
one
they
there,
the
that kind
scene
of
that
thing.
banned Hero? Lol.
But we're the name that comes up so often. No one says like South Africa, they're garbage. Philippines, they're garbage.
Right.
Poland, they're garbage. Like no one, they're not even on the radar.
Yeah.
So I think that actually speaks for Australia, and I think it's because we're at a position where we are good enough to be notable,
Yeah.
but we are the worst of the notable, kind of thing. Like it's
Ouch.
almost like we're in the big leagues, but we get memed on because we come last every time in the big leagues.
Yeah.
But we're still in the big leagues, so we're still like
Yeah, we're still kicking out a
we're
bunch
still
of other...
pretty damn good.
Yeah, and there are lots of like South South American countries and stuff, like to your point, that have like big scenes and have a lot of people go to them. They even get like numbers on Twitch and stuff, but they're not talked about like Australia is. They're
Yeah.
not sending players and actually like getting any placings at all,
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing that we can hold as like the next step forward is probably like looking at Europe and being like, okay, what countries do we match up against? Because we've been doing that for a while, right? We've been like, okay, well, this is where like we had the German players come through. We're like, this is where Germany sort of is at their skill level. And so we match ourselves up and we're like, okay, well, we can probably move forward at this point and this point, and then we can start being in like not the worst of the big leagues, right?
Yeah. So I very much see Europe as Australia's stepping stone to improvement.
Yeah, exactly.
Where a lot of people are like, go to America, go to SoCal every time. Always SoCal,
Yeah,
nowhere
yeah.
else.
The
That is
heart of Melee.
where I can understand that.
Yeah.
But I think
That's not even
realistically,
the heart of Melee.
like say my trip over there, the only reason I got so much as much top level experience as I did was because for the first weekend, the first event, I was literally one of the invited players, and I was allowed into the VIP room with the other top players. Like, I was basically injected into that situation as like someone of note, that if I'm talking to you, I'm not some random weenie person. Like, I'm someone you can actually hold a conversation with, and, like, you know,
So if you had a choice to go wherever you wanted to practice Smash, where would you go?
Probably the Netherlands or Germany.
All right. Netherlands for Mr. R.
Oh.
And
Mr. R's like not even number 1 there at the moment.
Really? Who is?
Space.
I don't even know.
Exactly. Europe has a lot of talent
that's hidden.
That's hidden. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, for example,
do you reckon Germany's you even put out, I think you tweeted this, so we can talk about this.
I was about to bring that up.
You reckon Germany's actually the best European country right now?
Second best.
Second best?
Yes, behind the Netherlands.
Oh, okay.
So I had like the top 10 countries or whatever. I think Japan is better than America.
Yep.
Which I think
I've always agreed.
I think,
but it's crazy to say it.
I think to the more observed, that's not a surprise whatsoever.
Yes.
But on face value, it's like, what? They're better than the US. That's, you know, it's like, nah, they are better than the US. You know?
Yep. It's just like a consistency thing. You might have top players who come out of the US who are like, oh, I'm the best. But they're so departed from the US scene sometimes that they're barely part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like when Zero was making...
The top players are very, very much not representative of the US scene as a whole.
Yeah.
They don't even like attend their locals and stuff like that.
Never. Yeah.
And it's different again because I feel like Japan... US does have a lot of talent. Like, I feel like high-level Australians, even like border Oz PR, even low-end Oz PR, I think like we'd be
high mid tier.
Yeah, like high of mid, low of high level.
We're not cracking
that kind of like
top PR levels,
like it's one of those like, well, if in the most US regions we would be toward the top of PR.
Yeah.
Like usually what you see is like number 1 PGR player, number 2 bottom of PGR player or almost PGR player, number 3 nobody.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, sorry to that number 3, but nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how it goes. Like, they can still be quite good.
Yeah.
But it's just I feel like there's just like quite a big gap between those.
Yeah. That was the thing about Zero. When Zero was doing really well, he was like held up as the evidence of why the US is the best at Smash when he wasn't even a US player. And like in the Genesis and Evo tournaments, he would lose to Japanese players in the finals. And then like it was like, well, you know, US is still the best, but the Japanese player was fighting a Chilean player, and people didn't really get that.
Yeah.
It's because he was training in the US, he was training in SoCal, and so they're like, oh, well, he is US talent. But
I can still sympathize with that idea though.
Yeah.
Similar to Mr. R. Like,
yes.
I feel like, especially where he is now, I feel like a lot of that is like because of the US.
Yeah.
Of how high they
so
are.
Much
so
international experience.
You can still attribute their success to the US standard of play.
But their success isn't like strength of the scene. That's where you have to make the separation.
Yeah. Well, I think the big difference between the US and Japan is the mid and high level.
Yeah.
Because if I was, say, and a good example even is like Neath, who I think he's been to a couple of US tournaments. Or I'm not actually. I'll ignore what I was about to say just then.
Okay.
Neath,
scrap that.
Neath, who has done well in Queensland, for example, he beat me, for example.
Yeah.
And then, all right, now let's look at me. I went to the US and I was kind of beating who I was supposed to beat, then losing to like the really good players. Especially, I could hold my own. Again, like I think high end of mid, low end of high level.
Yeah.
So Neath, who could beat me, where I was able to do that well in the US. Now let's look at how Neath did at random, like literally random locals in Japan, not even majors. 0-2 every time.
Yeah.
You know. He'd just get bopped by.
That was the thing. This has been the thing for Japan for so long. It was their character specialists. So you'll be looking all over for like sets of your character where you want to learn from, until you trip on a Japanese tournament and go, "Oh my god, this is the best like character specialist of my character that I've seen so far." Every single time.
Yeah.
And that player would almost like go to like one tournament and do well, and the rest of the tournaments just get shat on by a bunch of other character specialists who would have one or two tournaments that they did really well and then get shat on.
Yeah.
Like it's consistently variable, and they're all bloody good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you see stuff like that. Going back a bit now to Smash 4.
Yeah, no, but that's what it is in
Brewed with
Ultimate.
Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
Number 50 or something like that in Japan. Oh, but he's top 10 in the world though.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because he went to the US and that makes him top 10 in the world.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's like, well, here are these like 50 other Japanese players above him,
Who
let
just
alone
slap
below
the
him and
shit
around
out
his
of
level.
him every tournament.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, you could attribute that to matchup knowledge and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like, in the very least, the top players by the end of Smash 4 knew the Duck Hunt matchup. Even if it wasn't the most familiar one they had, they knew what he can and can't do, blah, blah, blah. And they would still struggle with him, lose to him, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, he was still insanely good, could still beat them.
Despite the fact that they'd gotten familiar with it.
But yeah.
To counter your point, though, there were some Japanese players who did really well in Japan and traveled and didn't do so well. I think the best example of that was the Pit player.
Earth?
Yeah. Who never did, like, spectacularly well in the US.
Yeah.
Did really well.
Even when he was really high.
But, he was always doing well in Japan.
Yeah.
So, I could see it. But to play Ganon's advocate.
It's hard. I think the US meta and, like, how they play, I think, like, sort of counters the Japanese, like, how they play a bit.
Right. As you were saying, the Japanese play to outplay you.
Yeah.
And the US players play to not listen to you during the game.
Yeah. And, like, I think, or at least, that's sort of how I feel, especially, like, when I played there and I felt like I did way better against the Japanese players than I did the US players. And I feel like Australians play more like the Japanese than we do
the US.
Yeah. I think we're more similar. We play similarly to Europe as well. Maybe slightly less aggressive as Europe.
Yeah.
But I think we're I don't know. I just found the US how they play like very different and like
if that's the case, then we'll finish with this because we'll probably have to move on to some of the segments we got. But if that's the case, doesn't that mean the US meta is the best meta, and they play the best if they have a style that counters some of the best players?
It's definitely possible.
I
mean, they're like again, like even if they may not be the best country, like they're still it's still close between the two, and they're like. They're incredibly good, even if you're saying that. They're number two. They're the
if
second
they're
best
number
country,
two, they're sure as shit number two, and not even close to three.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're way ahead. Like Mexico's really good.
Yeah.
But it's just they have nothing on America. They're just not close. You know.
They're still really good.
Even though Meister can still go gangbusters.
There's always and MK Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always a Mexican player who comes out and just starts doing really well. I remember like the Genesis 3, I think it was when they had the crew battles. And when you looked at Mexico's lineup, this was 4. Sorry for being a boomer again. But when you looked at the lineup, you're like, these are all like hard hitters and actually all crazy good. And since then, they made a huge stamp in the crew battles where they played super well. And they lost to only Japan, but they made it close.
Yeah.
And so since then, I think a lot of people have put a lot of respect onto Mexico.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get some Mexican players, or we should go to Mexico.
Mexico could be an interesting one.
Anyway,
I don't know if I'd want to go there myself necessarily, or if you go to the safe places.
Oh yeah, but if you go to the safe places, Australia too. Like, why would you go to the dangerous places?
No, I get that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Not all of the locals may be at safe places, or
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't think they might not necessarily have the same luxury that we do.
Yeah.
So
that's definitely true. But that's neither here or there.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna move on to the first segment, which I'm not sure which one it is. Jed always surprises me. He's not racist. He's just being careful. All right. Are we going to do Explain This Image, or are we going to do Sock Tier List, or are we going to do Ganon's Advocate? Speed Round! Speed Round came in so quick, it became the first thing. Now, I worked on so many good questions on these ones. So if anyone's not familiar with the Speed Round, if this is your first Tournameta podcast, A, what are you doing? B, this is how it works. Ben is going to turn around, and I'm going to read questions. He's going to get them as many as he possibly can. We're now keeping track of scores. I think the high score was recently matched or broken by Ari.
Over who?
Over Shitashi.
Wow.
Shitashi had the optimal strategy, obviously. I think that was...
Yes, no, yes.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Lemon. Yeah, no, that was it. And so now we've got some new ones. These ones are all tougher, so I have no hope for you beating it. Looking.
I didn't see any.
Yeah. I have no hope for you beating the record. So we'll see how this goes.
All right.
We've only got 16.
No hope.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right.
I mean, I'm going to just take extra time saying these questions.
Yeah, that'll do the trick.
Yeah, that's it. All right. So I'm going to get the thumbs up from Jet at some point, and then we'll be beginning. All right. Best tournament you attended while overseas.
Nightmare on Smashville.
What did Esam's head taste like?
Nothing.
Easiest character in the game.
Ooh, Palutena?
Is Cloud making a comeback in the world of Ben Gold?
Coming soon, TM.
Whoa, favorite Ben Gold meme.
Fuck Ben Gold.
Who's easier to get wins, Bowser or Palu?
Ooh, Bowser.
Who would win versus each other, Bowser Ben Gold or K. Rool Ben Gold?
Bowser Ben Gold.
What's worse, Burnout or Character Crisis?
Burnout.
Favorite team color?
Blue.
More fun to play, teams or singles?
Teams.
Favorite food?
Bananas.
Best American food?
Oh, that's cursed. Sure, In-N-Out. Ketchup special In-N-Out.
Would you rather go Game 10 with Shitashi and lose, or be reversed 3-0'd by 3 consecutive 3 stocks?
Reverse 3-0'd, far less time.
Rivals or PM?
Rivals.
Oh. All right, you're out of time.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I read those ones slow because I really didn't want you to finish and us to be like, well, you
There's
could have
only
won.
16 there.
Yeah, there's only 16. The Rivals one. So these ones are all made for you, so we can read out the rest of them. Favorite American you met?
Oh. Josh was really nice, the Panda Global guy.
Yep.
Super nice guy, super
Wow.
accommodating. I think he would also get along with a lot of Australians as well.
He's got one of them personalities.
While I don't think he's sort of like the EBS sort of personality, like he's very different to that, but I think I think I don't know, he's just like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
I think he'd just get along with he would appreciate our humor and still get along with people really well. Well, sometimes you kind of say something and the American might be like, huh? Yeah, they might not get it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the cultural barriers are rough. And this one was the last one. I wasn't 100% sure if you had dropped K. Rool, but we'll reframe it. What was a point where you definitely knew you would be dropping K. Rool while overseas? So the point where you were playing K. Rool and you went, no more of this. Jesus Christ, like the lowest point.
So, of course, I'd already dropped him before the US, but I think the first set against Jump Steady that I played at the Hat, Hollywood Action Tuesdays.
Yep.
Nice venue. He played Palutena as well. He's quite good. And I went game 1 against him, K. Rool, got bopped. Game 2 against him, as Bowser, got bopped again.
Yeah.
So really, I think it's more so like that I should drop Bowser while overseas is kind of what happened to me because I myself have already considered that I've already dropped
Bowser.
K. Rool.
Oh yeah.
I still have Bowser. Like I still have K. Rool as well, but I don't consider him my main at all whatsoever.
Are you planning to keep Bowser?
Yes.
Okay.
I think he's still good.
Yeah.
He just needs somebody better. Like especially like again, Palu Wolf. Like
those are rough.
it's one of those things. Like you need a better character than him to deal with better characters than him again.
Yeah.
But at that point, you might as well main that better character.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then like use the Bowser.
How many matchups are there that Bowser would be better in a scenario than the character you're picking to counter the top tiers, right?
I think say like if I picked up Inkling for example because that's a lot more like methodical and how you have to win.
Yeah.
Then I feel like there'd be lots of matchups where it's like Inkling wins this, but I might as well go Bowser and save myself a lot of time and stress.
Yes.
About going about winning, that kind of thing.
You reckon Bowser's got the mileage to make it work?
In Australia, yes.
Yeah.
Like I think I could be number 1 in Australia with Bowser.
Wow.
Like if I put the time into learning him and the game, I think that is not outside of the realm of his possibility.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
But for me, I think like say for me lately, it's kind of been I think I can do it, and I know if I put the time into it, I can do it. But I just don't have the motivation to put the time into it.
Oh, that's one of the questions, right? Burnout or Character Crisis?
Yeah.
You went Burnout real quick.
Yeah.
So that's obviously been plaguing you a little bit lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, it's been plaguing me for like 2 years.
Yeah. I think I said to, who was it yesterday? Quaxy. I was like, you could beat this guy. He's been burnt out since before he went to America.
Yeah.
And you laughed. but it probably hurt on the inside.
It did hurt on the inside.
Because it's very true.
Yeah.
And people don't respect that enough. Burnout, I think, has always been trickier for like top tier players as well, right? Like, because everyone's gunning for you. When you're a low tier player or a mid tier player, you're like, okay, I took a loss, I took another loss. I'm not really feeling the game right now, but you have that goal ahead of you where you're like, all right, I'm gonna get there. Like, you have to some extent achieved your goal. You won BAM 11. Like, that was a huge high point.
Yeah.
And like, there's not a lot of.
I think that was a solid turning point of kind of like, where do I go from here? Like, obviously, I could do it again. You know, there's always that.
Make a legacy, but at the same time,
it's kind of like, you know.
When you've done that, how huge or important is it to be number one in Queensland?
Yeah, it's
not. Yeah,
yeah.
It's not there. That's one of the things I do envy though about the Victorian scene is that they are super hype on like consistently making that legacy and being the best player in Victoria. You know.
Yeah.
But even then, they'll probably tell you, the top level players, that it is an extremely frustrating and tiresome experience to try and be number one. It sounds so unfair to those players who are trying to come up, but it is true.
I was talking to someone, I can't remember who it was. It might have been one of the Melee guys, actually. Excuse me.
You're excused.
But he mentioned, like, when you get to the top, or even near the top, it's no longer about who you're trying to beat.
Yeah.
It's about who you're trying to not lose to.
Exactly.
And then
that's almost a demotivator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like every loss is far more, like, demotivation is part of it, but it's also like exhausting. It's just like, ugh, I lost again.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like, okay, now I have, like, it could have been 3 more sets until I win this tournament. Now it's like 6 or 7 or, you know, and especially if it's an event that like goes until midnight, or if you've been there since 8 a.m. and it's now 7 p.m. It's kind of like,
how do I keep myself doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I felt that, like, say the last couple, this Rambat and QSS as well, like just like going through a losers run. Like at the Rambat, it wasn't even that much of a losers run. It was literally just lost in semis and then made it back to grands.
Yep.
And that's like 3-4 sets. And that felt like so exhausting and so grueling, even though it was just a couple sets.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing when you're an upcoming player, though. You don't even know how many sets there are.
Yeah.
Right? You don't even count them. But then once you're starting to there, you're like, okay, I got to win 3 more to get there.
Yeah.
And then
you're kind of more familiar with the brackets, how they work,
exactly.
what it means to lose at this point, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you probably, like, just pay more attention to it as well.
And then you're doing the stress math. You're like, how much do I have to dig deep for this one?
And again, like, when you're still on the come up, it's like, oh, this is a new person I can beat.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't beaten them yet, or I've only done it once. This is really cool. This is my chance. Where now it's kind of like, this is another opportunity for me to bomb out. I hope I don't.
Yeah.
You know,
this is another opportunity for people to just like discredit me.
Well, not even discredit. That's not really part of it. It's just like, again, like if you've already reached the top, the motivation is more like to stay at the top, rather than to beat someone new, kind of thing.
The only motivation I can think of when you're up there is like legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
But like, you've already created a legacy for yourself, so it's hard to.
I guess so. I don't really care about legacy too much.
Well, there you go.
But I don't know. It's. I think like Rambats especially get to me. They're long. Because like I'm TOing in there from like, I have to get up at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So
and then you're like going to sleep at like 3 a.m. Yeah.
I think though it is important to focus on learning. Like even if you lose or if you win, it's like, did I learn from something from that set? Especially if it's streamed. Can I look back on it and continue to learn? So I think like I'm kind of the point was like, I want to learn, I want to be better, but sometimes I just kind of, you know.
Do you think about like how you want to give to the next generation of Smashers? Do you ever think about that?
I think I definitely like to try and help people understand the game better.
Yeah. Help the scene grow in a healthy way.
Exactly.
We were talking. There's a lot of changes you would like to make.
Yeah.
Into the future.
Yeah. Like, I think it's important to help the newer players. Like again, I think I might have been a tweet, but like, no, it was in the Discord post when I sent the videos of like Poppet's videos on understanding the game, and for me, I find that improvement just is directly linked to like understanding of the game. You suddenly realize something, and I think I've covered this a bit the first podcast, so I don't want to go over it again too much. But just like you realize something, you're like, man, I'm an idiot for not thinking of that or knowing that. And then you like implement it and do it, or it's in your mind when you play, and it's like, oh, I did that when I wouldn't have done that before, that kind of thing. And it's really rewarding, just feeling like you're learning, and then you're getting better because of it.
Yes.
Where for me right now, it's kind of like I don't really know how I can learn so much outside of like when I do something dumb, I'm like,
that was
dumb.
dumb.
I know I shouldn't have done that, but I did it.
Yeah.
So I'll just have to like make sure I don't do it. And it's like I don't feel like I'm learning. It's just more catching on to myself doing dumb things.
It's like, why aren't I doing the right thing more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than like, what do I need to do?
Yes.
It's so like it's
that's frustrating.
It's frustrating.
It's not knowing where to go. That is the plight of being number one as well. Like it's the main. You have to come up with your own innovations rather than like seeing the innovations of others and be like, oh, that's clever how he did that. Like I understand what he's going for. I can even do that in my own way. You know, like you can look to others and learn in that way. While when you're at the top, it's kind of like, all right, what do I do now? Like where am I going to go? How do I improve? Anyway, that is a depressing topic. I can see you getting like slowly more like down while you were talking about it. Let's talk about something else. Spazzy's been suggesting that you should definitely play Sonic over Bowser. Sonic's pretty fun.
It's pretty busted too. Despite what Spazzy may think, like may make you believe, despite telling
I'm in
you
shock right
otherwise
now
again,
that you're agreeing.
Sonic is actually quite good. Like low high tier or something like that.
Sonic's pretty cool.
He has stupid stuff.
I reckon he's cooler than he was in 4. In 4, he was a camping bitch. And now he's got like a whole bunch of cool setups, especially watching players like Ken are just ridiculously cool.
Yeah. And you can do like the side spin. I don't know what the hell it's called.
Yeah, there's too much tech.
I was talking to Hawk, who was one of the Americans I met. He was really cool. He's from Tri-State, like Connecticut.
Yeah.
Wolf player.
Right.
And he played a Mexican Sonic, who I've never heard of before, but he was quite good. He got like 17th or 13th at Nightmare.
Wow.
Apparently, his entire game plan was just to side beat through his opponents like across the stage repeatedly, and it just like
the genius,
and it just beat all these good players.
They just had no idea what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious.
So like, I feel like a bad character simply just can't do that. Against those players, and like you see Ken, I don't think he's number 1 anymore, but he's still pretty good with nerfed Sonic.
Well, the reason I bring it up is like you've obviously been talking in the group chat about different characters that you've been picking up, but I'll give you an opportunity. Do you have characters that you reckon that you're really getting into at the moment? You tried Inkling.
I tried Inkling.
You don't mind
I tried Wolf. I've had Snake for Snake. It's like, I just play a Ratchet Snake, play him how I want to.
I reckon your Snake is like powered purely by Salt about the fact that Snake is so good.
Yeah.
I remember we'd be playing friendlies. You just like, watch this, and just like go into crouch and just be like, this is so busted. It's like 90% of what you do.
I hate him, but I do like playing as him.
Okay.
But I don't think he clicks with me as a player necessarily.
Yes. I mean, he's super campy.
Yeah.
That's just like one of the optimal ways to play him. And that's not really you.
I just love like running up to someone, like just making them shield with the C4 and like grab, back throw, detonator 80. They're dead. I love that kind of stuff. I love just run off fair, and now I'm in disadvantage, but it was worth it because I could have killed them at 20. Or, stuff like that. I've played a bit of Wolf. Julia snorted at that, and that Wolf died. I don't know. I could maybe give him some more, few goes. Like, I only really play. Like, again, I don't really practice so much. It's more like I'll play him in friendlies and see how I go. And then
it's more about finding the character that clicks for you, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I did get Cloud again in random at SSQ the other week.
And you were like...
And I have not touched him since, like, week 1 or 2 of Ultimate. Because it's like, he's not fun anymore. They've ruined his flow. Because I was big on like limit cancelling and stuff like that in Smash 4, and it just felt like
that
delayed
cool stuff
and
they had
clunky.
in 4.
Yeah, the cool stuff, but they don't have that anymore. He's still quite fun. Like now that I'm used to the engine as well, like I could just pick him up and just use the kit that I'm familiar with, because they haven't changed his game plan at all aside from up B out of shield. everything else like is the same except like Nair requires more spacing.
And it's
Or
more
probably,
focused
like,
on like using the forward air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like down air, you can't pogo stick anymore.
Yeah.
You have to double jump to auto cancel it.
Doesn't just beat out everything below him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be smaller as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So
Ness
but
up
he's still very fun because like what I've always loved about Cloud is like when you're in advantage, it's like you're on the hunt. Like you're like chasing after them and like like you can smell the fear in them in disadvantage and you're hunting them down and about to slaughter them. You know?
That was one of the things I tried to come up with a you know how they make those like characterizations of characters, like what their game plan is, like as a zoner or a rushdown.
Yeah.
I tried to do that, and I had a characterization called hunters, because there is like a level of that which I understand completely, where it is all about like once you hit that advantage, you are like sniffing them out.
Yeah.
And getting like the perfect read or whatever to that is super satisfactory. It ended up being too broad, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I once tried to put that into words.
And I feel like Bowser is sort of like that as well.
Really?
It's not quite the same. It's actually no. The more I think about it, it is a bit different. But
Okay.
I don't know. I just do love. I love being in the opponent's head. And knowing what they want to do and like
You are a reads player, 100%.
I love like sniffing the fear in the air and just like calling out their defensive option. And,
which is sometimes why you do dumb stuff.
Yeah.
But when it works,
I know it'll work.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like they're going to do this and I can do this. Like down B for example isn't very good, but it's like it's a stronger
But I see
punish.
you get it so much.
It's like stronger. It's a stronger punish than like forward tilt and stuff like that. Or kill. Well, if it doesn't spike. So it's like, I think the other day on stream or I knew someone would roll behind me. I could have just forward tilted.
Yeah.
I think forward smash would have been a bit slow. So I just wanted to do turnaround down B, which is like frame 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like far less committal on startup anyway. So I could just quickly get the punish and kill them where like forward tilt would have worked. Yeah, and I got it. Where it would just seem dumb watching it. But like I just knew that they would roll. And other stuff like that. Or I know someone will double jump. So I down B, and then like I spike them out of the double jump, that kind of thing.
That's nuts. Yeah.
So
there's Cloud. Anyone else? Millis is saying Greninja. Maybe he's just saying that's a hunter type character, but
I think so. I think that was in response to the hunter thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Greninja, like I haven't really played too much. Like again, like there were kind of like a lot of characters
where you were got a pool of got to try, but not keen on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like of the ones I was more keen, it was kind of like I'm sort of keen on them, but I probably know that they won't click with me.
Yeah. All right. What characters have you got on that list, or the ones that you know won't click?
Like Young Link.
Yeah.
I think
fair
it's
enough.
cool. Again, like Wolf, Joker, Inkling.
Not keen on Joker.
I'm not. So like I think Joker is one of the characters I'm more keen on. But again, I wouldn't say I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna. When he released, it was kind of like, oh, cool new character. Didn't really know who he was. Wasn't super against him being in Smash or anything. But it's just like, oh, he's a new character that might suit me. That's cool. Even like K. Rool, honestly, I was keen on Ridley when the game came out. I think I've already said this again as well, so I don't want to dwell on it. But wasn't expecting to click with K. Rool at all, and he did. And it's interesting because I always ask like, well, not ask, but it kind of comes up like, what is a Ben Gold character?
Yes.
And every single person has a different idea as to what a Ben Gold character is. So there's always like a pool of like 30 characters like, oh, this is a Ben Gold character.
This is you.
And then everyone else is like, that is not a Ben Gold character. What are you talking about?
Yeah. That's 100% true.
And I feel like it's just kind of come from like K. Rool, so people are like, oh, he loves goofy characters.
Or he likes frustrating, or he likes read heavy, or he likes rush down, like whatever
or
it
he
is.
just loves the heavies, or that kind of thing. But then it's like, I also like Cloud, which is like none of those things.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what I like, but I must say, for example, like the rush down, like hunt advantage, like that is something that like I'm super into.
Especially in Ultimate. Like, that's the thing you got to... I didn't consider is that the switch to engine changes people's tastes.
Yeah.
Because some things work and some things don't. For the life of me, I tried playing zoners, but I do not enjoy them at all in Ultimate. It doesn't feel right. Anyway, we'll move on to another segment because we've got heaps of these segments going, and we've just popped over 8 o'clock, so we'll get some more. Ben Gold, there is no Ben Gold character. Hey, maybe you'll get DLC.
I do actually think that is probably more accurate than anyone saying this is a Ben Gold character. Like
Ben Gold is the character.
No. There is no Ben Gold character. Like I think there is no character perfect for me.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's rough. But hey, there are characters that are close, and that means you could have multiple.
That is true.
Whoa, that's deep.
But I don't know. Like, you know how some people are like, that is the character. Like, that's perfect for me.
Yes.
Or, you know, that kind of thing. I don't know. But
yeah,
Doom Guy, he's gonna be my boy.
Really?
Nah,
you weren't even not even close. And the thing is, they're gonna ruin Doom Guy. They're gonna make him a zoner, and I'm gonna be mad as hell.
That's funny. All right, Ganon's advocate.
Yeah,
let's go.
So, if anyone doesn't know, Ganon's advocate is I give him some topics that he has to argue for. Some of them he might agree with, some of them they might not. I did struggle making these ones. Some of them were a bit samey. I'm pretty sure right now Jet is just reorganizing them. Oh no, here we go.
And this was introduced after my one.
Yeah, you didn't have this.
This is from the second or third one.
Evidence of how much we've grown because we came up with a new idea. And yeah, it fills time real easy. So we'll do it.
So I'm to agree or disagree with this?
You are to agree with this.
All right.
So this one's pretty easy to argue.
Yeah.
If Terry is OP, Terry Bogard, the new DLC,
yep.
Shadrew will unleash a reign of terror and dominance in Queensland.
All right. So how we have it already is Shadrew basically already does have a reign of terror and dominance on Queensland.
Yeah, he's up. He's no longer coming.
His main problem is Sad Hour.
Yes.
He can't beat Sad Hour. And a lot of people, you know, they say, oh, his 6 week streak is like, that's insane. He's number one in Queensland. That all sounds well and good.
And then Finn rocks up.
But exactly, at none of those tournaments he had to play Finn. And at only one of them or something like that, he had to play me.
Yeah.
So myself and Finn broke that streak. We both beat him. And no one else could beat him.
He has beaten Finn recently.
Yes.
But
for the first time in a long time.
You're going to get absorbed into the recency bias and say that counts as Shadrew is now dominating instead of the head-to-head being still swayed crazy in Sad Hour's favor.
So Shadrew definitely struggles against Finn and I the most, and Finn much more so than myself. He can beat me like, you know, 40-50% of the time, or, you know, whatever. Same with Ari, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But his problem is like Lucina, for example. So if Terry is OP and like can beat Lucina, then Shadrew is number one in Queensland.
Yeah, he's got no problems.
Because he will then beat Finn and beat everyone even harder than he already does now.
And he's DLC. And like the history of DLC characters DLC of OP to not OP is ridiculous. So the chances that it is OP.
Exactly.
This is almost a guarantee.
So like, honestly, even if Terry isn't OP, all he has to do is be able to beat Lucina.
Yeah, and then it's over.
He would have that reign of terror and dominance.
Yeah.
If Terry is OP and does not lose to any character, does even better than Ken and all of them,
then it's
the only thing stopping Shadrew is if he actively went Ken instead of Terry.
Yes. For what reason would he do that?
For fun.
Yeah.
He might just love Ken. He
might go Terry Bogard. Lame.
What could be a grim situation is he doesn't find Terry fun. He could be good at him.
Yeah.
He could work him.
Yep.
But he'd just find Ken more fun.
And we have to respect that. Ken is pretty fun. Like, honestly, Ken's playstyle is pretty fun as well.
If you can figure him out and actually like press buttons as him.
Yeah.
He's sick.
He's so sick.
In fact, he is one of the characters. Like, I would definitely look at main Ken.
But you have to learn the buttons. And it's so annoying.
And that is exactly me. It's like, I'm not learning Ken.
Why would I do What is that? The crane kick? There's 2 crane kicks. One's this input, and sometimes you can get it wrong.
Exactly.
And all the Ken mains are like, oh, yeah. Sometimes I lose sets because I got the wrong input. And it's like,
Yeah. So if Terry was OP and like that kind of thing, I could very likely see Shaddy using him for everyone except for like Bowser and Lucina, basically. Who kind of solidly. Sorry, the other way around. I could definitely. Hang on, don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, I think if he found Terry boring, he'd still try and opt for Ken mostly. Yeah. And then pull him out for the matchups that Ken just can't. Lucina, and I think Bowser does quite well against Ken as well. Okay. But Shaddy's a lot better against me than he is against Finn. So he might not even need OP Terry to destroy me, as he already does.
But
so
you reckon he'll...
definitely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do
you reckon he'll go past Queensland then, if that's the case?
Well, in a sense, he...
Do you think he can?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
With the Terry, he could unleash a reign of terror across Australia.
With like mid-tier Ken, like pre-patch and stuff like that, he already went like Game 5 with Jay Dizzle and Game 5 with Ignis and, you know, all these other people.
Yes.
I think he beat Ignis,
He
actually.
did.
Yeah. So, stuff like that. So, with Ken buffs, I think like where he's at right now, he's even better than he was at Sunnyside Up.
Yeah.
So, I think he'd do even better as well as Ari. Like, all right. I'll give a. It's not really
a hot call.
Well, sort of. So I'll give a mini leak to the 40, which I think people who's kind of like it's not too hard to figure out. But right now I'm number 3.
Right.
And,
Shadru's number 2.
Maybe
1.
Maybe.
With Sado being the other.
We'll see.
Oh, it is a Tournameta first. I've been fishing for Tournameta firsts the entire time. And now we finally got one.
So, I quite enjoy being at the point where... Ooh. News just in the chat.
Shady number 1 and number 2?
Well...
Ben, look at the 40 chat when you can.
Exactly. Maybe we'll get the 40 drop at the end of the podcast. Maybe we could do that. Nice. Anyway. I enjoy the point. Like, I think I'm alright at the game.
Yeah.
I definitely have room to improvement. I think I'm probably... like, definitely 12 to 20 range in Australia would be my guess, or 10.
Okay.
Like, on the Oz PR, I'll be higher because of just how the tournament's, like, BAM. You can't ignore BAM, even though I am definitely, like, worse now comparatively in Australia than I was then, that kind of thing.
Yes.
So on the Oz PR, I'll be higher.
Yep.
But I think right now...
If we were to duke it out, like a round robin of the top 20
that
players
kind of thing,
in Australia.
I think I'd be like 10 to 20 range, which is a bit broad. I'd like to probably more specifically say like 12 to 15, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And I like that because I'm only number 3 in Queensland right now.
Yeah.
So I think
Queensland.
I think Ari and Shadru could definitely possibly be...
We're on our way to number 1. I'm calling it right now.
Top 10 skill
Ben
level,
has
exactly.
confirmed Queensland is on their way to be the number 1 state in Australia.
Conversely, I think I may do the best interstate for my skill. Like they're better than me, but I think I might have a better, I don't know, flowchart or whatever of just like dealing with
consistently.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Sad hour underperforming, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even when he was number 1 in Queensland.
Shadru always does well, but never actually makes a huge splash.
He usually doesn't like pop off.
Yes,
but he does well.
He's like doing the same thing that he did in our scene, where he just like slowly is grinding up the levels. You know, he started off not doing too well, and now he's just like making his way to the top. Yeah. One step at a time.
So, I don't know. I find that exciting personally. Like
Ari number 1 in the 40. No. Maybe. Maybe. That'd be nuts. Anyway.
I will. All right.
No spoilers.
All right. No spoilers.
At the end of the podcast.
At the end of the pod.
You guys got to listen. You got to listen. Okay. So that was the end of that one. That was some spicier than I expected on the Terry topic.
All right.
Ultimate is far deeper than previous Smash games. It's the second topic that you have to argue. Ooh. You're already stressing.
Now, I've always been bad at acting, so you may have to forgive me here.
Now, you're going to find a point. You actually have to argue from a reason of logic.
All right. There are many more matchups in this game that you have to consider.
That was the easiest point you could think of.
And the only point I can think of. So there's so many matchups in the game that you have to consider, and among that, like so many viable matchups as well. Melee, you only need to know like 8 matchups.
Yes.
The game is quite solved outside of like the gameplay itself. It's like, this is my character. My character beats yours. Game 1, we will go Battlefield because we will always ban the non-Battlefield stages.
Yes.
Game 2, well, it's DSR, so now I'm going to your best stage. That kind of thing. Where in this, it's like there's a lot more mind games to it. It's like, oh, this stage is pretty good for me in this matchup. And like there's still there's a lot more depth in having to figure everything out and how all the characters
experimenting
can play, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's still so much. It's like a lot more depth in matchups to learn.
Yes.
And that kind of thing. Ultimate's definitely better than Smash 4 in like neutral and mind games. Like
Okay.
Smash 4's just like brain dead. You know, you're just like, oh, I got to grab at 50. Sorry, buddy. You're
Yeah,
dead.
you're out of town.
You know.
Yeah.
What do I do to get that 50%? Oh, well, I grabbed you the first time. And that got me there.
Yeah.
You know.
2 grabs.
Yeah.
See you later.
Exactly.
Yep.
So now like the worst you have that is like Inkling, I guess, where she still
You get
has
3 jabs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you know, now you actually have to do so much more to get them up to like 120 to 40%, whatever, and like generally smaller windows as well
Yep.
for when there are those kind of things still in the game.
Inkling has more depth than some of the characters that had depth in 4.
Yes.
In some ways.
Oh yeah, definitely. I like the top tiers like all have more depth than the. Or I actually think Cloud and Bayonetta have a decent amount of depth.
Yes.
But they were
which
just
is
like,
why they were so good.
they were just also overtuned as well, so it kind of gave off a vibe of like not
Brain
having
dead.
depth.
Yeah.
Especially Bayo.
Yes.
Um.
Bayo was completely stupid busted, but you had to reach into her bag of tricks and understand a lot of it before you got to the point where she was completely broken busted.
Yep. Her problem was like you kind of didn't really need to understand disadvantage or neutral as long as you practiced your combos.
As long as you were really good at Bayo, you didn't need to understand the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where now all the top tiers you have to like be good at Smash. You have to be able to understand the game quite well to.
This is more
Explore
props
your
than I was
characters,
expecting out of
all
you
that
for
kind of thing.
Ultimate. I was expecting you to go full hard shit on this this game and be like, well, I just can't think of anything. But no, I'm impressed. And so the problem would then be that it is probably not as deep as like Melee, in your opinion. If we were to go outside the realm of you have to argue this.
Yes, it's not as deep as Melee. Like the best way I can describe it is like, say in Ultimate, you know, you can move up and down, and you can move left and right. You know, you have your crosshair looking thing, and you can kind of move anywhere within those lines, and that's kind of your movement in the game and like your options, I guess. Like,
All right, I'm with you.
I can jump in and, you know, forward air and like try and fade back, but it won't really do much because like their back air would just like hit me anyway, or if I space something on shield, they'll always just be able to up B out of it, unless my aerial has like +5 frames on landing leg, you know, dumb stuff like that. Where in Melee, it's like now I have a circle, and I can be literally anywhere inside this circle, and like that is my option in advantage, neutral, disadvantage of like how I can play the game.
Yes.
It feels a lot more like freestyle and custom, and like I can think of something and I can do it. Where in Ultimate, it's like, and Smash 4 especially, it's kind of like, no, this is what you do.
Yeah, there's a very clear-cut optimal strategy.
Yep.
Yeah. That was the thing about 4, was that the best thing to possibly do was get a grab.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, well, how do I get a grab?
What I will give Ultimate, though, is I think characters like Joker is sort of getting toward... Obviously, you don't have like wave dashing and the same sort of depth in the engine and mechanics, but Joker, I still feel like you can still play him like... You can play him tricky, you know, in how you're moving around and stuff like that.
I wasn't expecting these kind of props.
You see like MKLeo, like...
Some of the deepest characters in Ultimate have almost Melee level depth in character comparison.
I wouldn't necessarily go that far.
Wow. I said almost. I didn't say like the same.
But I think like you watch MKLeo, and whether you can see it or not, there's like so much more depth and like stuff going on and how he's controlling his character than what it merely looks like.
Okay.
Where like when I play Joker or any character, I'm just a dummy. I'm just, you know, like, I just flick left and right and like, oh, I should try and like, you know, sort of space it forward there, where like he really like understands the positioning in the stage, how important that is, where he needs to be at the right time every time, catching landings, following up in advantage, getting out of disadvantage. Like he just understands that so much more than I do.
Okay.
And I can see that. Even if I can't quite comprehend it.
Yeah, you can't implement it.
And implement it, I can see that.
Okay.
And
that is a sign of...
That's, say, my problem right now. It's like, I like, especially going over to the US and I go there, I feel dumb. I feel just stupid. Like,
just drop kick levels.
I don't know this game. I just like up B out of shield, and
that works.
I hope people do dumb stuff and I punish it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing in Melee. Like I feel a lot smarter when I'm playing neutral and doing things and pull something off. I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm really like my brain's jogging there. Like it could just be like Bowser and K Rool things.
Maybe.
How dumb are they? But just something about the engine and controlling your character in that is so much intrinsically rewarding.
Yep.
Um,
But in terms of depth, would you rank it as melee top tier, then like a tier gap maybe? Then Ultimate?
Yeah, Ultimate's definitely like second best game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I
That's
mean,
good props.
You could definitely like talk to some 64 people and be like,
Awesome.
oh, they're way better than Ultimate.
Yeah.
But
Or
like,
brawl players who are like,
I can appreciate
remember this.
I can really appreciate 64's depth in the control of your character because like it's all about like the stick and
Yeah.
how good you are at like doing minute inputs in the stick. There are like 4 different short hop heights,
Yeah.
4 different full hop heights.
Yeah.
All that kind of thing, which like you just never heard of or seen of again in any game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then it's almost elusive. I don't know if that's the right word, but like you think that the game doesn't have too much depth because you're like, I can only forward and back throw.
Yeah.
I can't even wall or ceiling.
The
check.
mechanics
There's
looks
no way
like
to
there's
dodge.
none, but there's actually way more.
But there's
than it
actually a
seems.
lot going on there.
Righto.
Yeah.
All right.
But I think Ultimate would
Second
probably
best.
Second best. Yeah.
Fair enough. That's good props by how much you've been shitting on it lately. I'll say that. Anyway, we'll go to...
All right. I
Next
I
one.
can say what I was thinking just then for later.
Okay. Yeah. All right. No problem. Just remember it.
Well,
I think we've got 4 Ganon's
I could
advocates.
say it really quickly. I won't go on about anything.
Go.
But I think lately there's been a lot of frustration about Ultimate, especially from the Smash 4 players, and I think it's a dangerous mentality and a slippery slope to go down there, especially like publicly saying, "No, this game's crap," blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because I think that's when you get into a 2016 situation of everyone just crapping on Smash 4 because of Bayo, and then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everyone hates the game and they don't want to play it anymore.
Exactly.
And then we have 10, 15 people rocking up every month. Like
and
the
it's just not
weeklies
true.
didn't even get
Smash
10 people.
4 had so much wrong with it, and we look back at it with rose-tinted glasses.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
a boomer myself, I know this.
Yeah.
Every time I see someone complaining, I always just think, well, it's not that bad.
Like,
honestly.
there's so much stuff that it's like, why is this a thing? I don't like this. This is bad in Ultimate. Sure.
Yeah.
But every game has their problem, and Ultimate is like by far like better than Brawl, better than Smash 4.
I think the most frustrating thing for a lot of Smash 4 boomers like myself about Ultimate is the way that the game seems inconsistent.
Yeah.
In the way that sometimes mechanics, you're just like, why the hell did that just happen?
Yeah.
But
I
that'll either get patched out or we'll find why it happens and be able to replicate
I think
it.
a frustration at the moment as well, whether people... I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone.
Yeah.
But I think like a big part of it, or at least, I'll just say, from my perspective, what I think is the patches haven't been enough.
Right.
So I think having a patch every like 3 months or whatever it has been, like, that's really good.
Okay.
Because if you overpatch like League of Legends or whatever the
then it
Overwatch
just
might have done,
becomes
it's just dumb.
Following
And
whatever
you just put a complaint on Reddit, and then
Yeah.
that is the patch.
we've
next week,
nerfed
kind
this character into the ground because there were too many complaints.
So you need time for a meta to develop.
Yeah.
But it has.
Yes.
Like if you were to ask me, with some exceptions, like maybe Corrin and Diddy Kong, more so Diddy Kong, every character from day one, if we were still playing the first day one patch,
Yeah.
we would have gotten to the same meta and same point that we have with the current patch.
Wow. All right.
Bar maybe like infinites that were taken out and like Snake's self-sticky, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
the characters themselves outside of exploits are just as good as they were.
Yeah.
You know, like, Wolf's down smash kills 2% later than it did day one.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
A lot of the
that's nothing.
changes have been subtle ones,
Yep.
but ones that make the character feel better rather than
Yeah,
the
they
character.
haven't actually made the character better or worse. Just
Yeah.
like, I guess, more honest. I guess is like
Sometimes.
what you could say.
Yeah.
And that's nice, but now we need like real changes. We actually need the game to change enough for it to feel fresh and like obviously in a good way. We don't want the game to change for the sake of it.
We don't want to bring back
Yeah.
ding dongs. We don't want to bring
Yeah,
back
exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, there are a bunch of moves with -2 on shield aerials.
Yeah.
That's not okay. I think we should make them a little worse. You know,
No.
stuff like
Make
that.
more moves that are safe on shield.
And it again, how you look at it, lots of people like don't nerf top tiers, buff low tiers.
Yeah.
So there's kind of two sides to that. Like, yes, that's good because we want, characters to be better. But it's also a problem, like, now I have 80 characters that are, like, really good against my character, and it's just impossible to learn. Like, it's just frustrating.
You're going to have a
coming
bottom
across-
character all the time.
Well, not even just that, but if everyone is too busted, and there's too many people that are too busted, it also just becomes, like, really annoying. That you will just encounter this person who, like, normally it's like, oh, it's matchup and experience, but you'll figure them out.
Yeah,
Then you'll beat them. But it's like, oh, okay, now you figure them out, and they're still, like, stupid. And there's 80 of those characters, that kind of thing. Where that's where, like, Melee's meta, some people, like, really like. Because it's like, there's only 6 matchups or 8 matchups.
Yeah.
And now we know literally everything about that matchup, and it's, like, super in depth, and, like, we can really advance those matchups because there's only 6 or 8 to focus on.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about random person Joe Blow upsetting you because you've never played a Pac-Man before, that kind of thing. So the game it makes the meta a lot more consistent.
Yep.
Which you can argue is, like, good or bad.
Yeah.
But
People obviously have
it's
their
a bit more
opinions on it.
subjective. Like, some people will want every character to be a top tier. Other people will be like, that sounds nice, but I really would not want to play that game. That kind of thing.
Yeah. I just realized that we were having a conversation and we said we were going to keep it brief.
Yes,
but that was very interesting. No, I liked it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to the third, Gannon's Advocate. The US competitive scene has a much healthier mindset than Queensland. This is obviously one you don't agree with.
So again, I have to say that is the case.
Yes.
All right. So the Queensland...
They obviously have more of a focus on being the best.
Yes.
Competition over...
And they're also much of accepting of the flaws of the game and just being like, okay, my character isn't good enough, so I'm going to play a good character.
Yeah.
Because I'm here to play a competitive game and be number one.
So Queensland obviously needs more of that, right?
Where Queensland is kind of like, I'm playing a competitive game, but I want to use my bottom tier character and be number one. Yeah, that I love. Instead of playing the game competitively, I'm still kind of being pretty casual about it. It's like, I want to play this character, even though my character's garbage. It's, just give up on your terrible character, and if you want to do well, use a good character. Otherwise, you're just going to hate yourself for 2 years, and then people quit the game, and then just think, man, I hated playing that game. It's like, no, you hated playing that character.
Oh.
Of course, now a year later, we could be like, no, we did also hate playing that game as well. But it's people burn themselves out, and they hate themselves for playing a character that they're not dropping, that they should have dropped 2 years ago.
Yes.
Where in America, it's like they know when they're like, all right, 3 months into the game, my character's bad. Good character time because I want to do well. I'm here to play competitively.
Yeah.
I'm sort of repeating
I'm here for
myself
the money
now.
Yeah.
But money, I guess, is part of it for some people, but I don't think that's a very healthy outlook. Like,
just like they're here to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They're to win, they're to learn, they're to improve. Like that is the Ghost mentality. Some people will be like, well, it's a bit
Where's
grimy,
the love?
I don't know, but it's like, Ghost is honest with himself.
Yep.
And I think that is the best way
to win,
to go about it, because, like, we are in a competitive community.
Yep.
You play competitive to win.
Aren't there multiple ways that you can be at the top
like,
level and be competitive, though?
Multiple ways you can be.
Yeah.
Usually that depends on the character.
Okay.
Because again, if you're at a top level, or if you're a top tier, you can play characters in multiple ways, and it's a lot more like interpretive. You can.
But I mean, like, aren't there ways that you can harbor a community that still is competitive, that doesn't just focus on winning for the sake of winning? Like, isn't there? Like, it sounds like what you're arguing is that the most optimal strategy to have a winning mindset is to just have competitive spirit and focus on the win and, like, get there by any means, right? Like, to switch the character that you need to play the kind of players that you need to.
Well, if you don't want to win, why are you in a competitive environment?
Well, you might get something out of a competitive environment more than winning. And through that, you can actually become better than someone who's just focused on the win. Isn't that true?
Yeah, but then at that point, you just get sick of the game and your character and you quit because you're not winning.
All right, fair enough. All right, I gave it a shot. Yeah, we'll keep that one quick. All right. So obviously, there were lots that you didn't like about the US competitive scene, and you prefer probably Queensland scene.
I think Queensland and Australia in general is a lot more of a community.
Yes.
Again, I don't think that's inherently because of the the culture there, but it's also like SoCal has like hundreds of active players.
Yeah.
And it's also a very fragmented community.
Yeah.
Imagine if there were
almost
like
a country.
Yeah, it's like there were 10 Brisbanes in southeast Queensland.
And they all got their locals going on.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you'll go to a local and there will literally be 100 people you've never seen before.
Yeah.
And
they're all
so you're just going to talk to your buddy that you do know.
Yep.
So I think it's just, everyone just turns themselves. What am I trying to say? They just kind of keep to themselves.
They form those smaller communities because of the size of
it
and the nature of
Yeah.
the community.
Where here, I think it's like we are lucky to kind of have like one big community where everyone goes to every event because they're easy to go to for everyone. That
Everyone
kind of
tries to support each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we only have one weekly that we don't have a weekly every day, so
Yes.
people just choose the one that is closest to them and don't go to any others. That kind of thing. And I think that's one of the reasons why Australia is quite good considering our circumstances.
Yeah, considering the infrastructure, we're actually bringing up top level.
Because our monthlies will get 60 people, 70 people, where like America is very much like...
Monthlies will get like 150.
They'll get 150 because there's just that many more people than us.
Yeah.
But there'll be 50 billion weeklies that get like 15, 20 weeklies. It's so diluted.
Yeah.
Where here we just have one weekly and everyone goes to that. All our good players there, all our middle levelers there, and it's just like way better for like learning matchups. Playing with each other, stuff like that. That kind of thing.
Anyway, I thought the fourth Gannon's Advocate was actually a fourth one, but it just says Gannon.
Yep.
So that's not actually one, so we don't have to worry about that one.
All right.
But we will move on to the next segment because we've also got... I don't know what's next, if it's Explain This Image or Hypotheticaps. Caps. These ones are good.
All right. I don't know if I'm familiar with this one.
Oh, yeah, this is new. Yeah,
Is
you
it?
don't know this one.
Okay.
So I introduced this one originally with Shadru.
I watched the... I've watched all of them except for the Little Z one, and I still need to get around to Ari's as well.
Right.
So I must have just forgotten about it. I don't know. I was in bed like dying when I was watching it.
We didn't have a segment for Hypotheticaps.
Oh,
okay. I said these are hypotheticals, and I called them Hypotheticaps. But basically what this is...
Sorry.
Yeah.
But Versus in Losers Semis on stream in a Victorian weekly right now.
Oh, all right, everyone. Quickly just send your love, send your energy, and then come back, and then come right back.
All right, come back already. Come back. We need you guys. Come on.
That's enough.
It's not that interesting.
He's got too much energy. He's going to shit himself.
Come back.
He's got too much.
No, don't be interested. The gravy, come on. Stay here.
Zondrel. Don't wait for anything. No links.
It's Banjo. Do you really want to watch Banjo?
No links.
No, just come back.
Just say good job, Verse. I watched you. That was a good banjo.
Yeah,
I liked your eggs.
He can do his thing over there. It's fine. We'll hear about it later, all right?
All right. The first Hypotheticap. It's a hype banjo me gunner. Oh my god, what a disgusting set. Me gunner and banjo? Oof, put me to sleep. Anyways, this one's a long one. They're both kind of long.
All right.
But they have the stipulations on it.
Yep.
Watch that, listen to this. Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks, Jet. Anyway, so I'll read it out. Sakurai is a secret appreciator of the Ben Gold Twitter page.
Who isn't?
He follows you on a secret account and wants to consult with you on some big changes he's going to make to the game.
Ooh.
What is the change that you're going to make, and how do you convince Sakurai to go with it? So keep a couple things in mind. He's a fan of your Twitter page, not you as a person.
That is true.
Right.
Yeah, that does happen a lot.
Jesus. That's stuck. Second thing is you have to argue this so that he'll agree to it.
Yep.
So you have to keep it within the idea of like what Sakurai is. And also, it's got to be a good change.
All right. I feel like... All right, I suppose there's
Tell him to put Gordo shield damage back.
Give it axe shield back.
No.
Shield back. What the hell am I talking about?
Get shield damage
Shield
back.
damage back.
No.
Belmont's axe?
Yeah.
Gordo should do that damage to shields.
No. Holy. Is that what you're arguing? No.
All right. I think I could go from like degrees of changes I'd make because there's obvious ones that are like he's intentionally done that.
Yeah.
You know,
So like
so-
like the
so, like,
buffering system
yeah,
seems
he's
warped,
he's
but
not going to change the buffering system.
yes.
He's not going to get rid of like what I think is really stupid, dying in the camera line when you get spiked.
Right. Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you
yeah.
die at 0.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great.
Yeah. So I think that would be my number one change. Remove that mechanic.
Okay. But he's not going to
Well,
accept
actually, that or the whole just can we please pass through people? Like
that. Yes.
that's
Yes.
such a Smash thing.
Yes.
That is a Smash thing, and they've taken
You know
it
what?
out.
So who said that? It was.
Ooh, auto turnaround of Ken. I would get rid of that in a heartbeat.
Really? Oh, but then he would just be back airing us.
Or no, it'd be like, I don't know. I'd roll behind or something like that, and I'm like, damn, you called that out that roll, and
And
Tony
he's
would be
just
like,
going dick,
be like,
dick, dick, dick.
I didn't know you would do that. I was like,
That's exactly like.
that's cool. I guess the game I would
First
do it,
thing he
though.
said in chat, no.
Yeah.
He doesn't want it.
Yeah.
Sonic would pass through. You don't understand, Spazzy.
Nah.
He had pass through in the previous game, and he also had like spin dash canceling.
In the old game, I could roll behind you, and you're committing to a down tilt or something like that. Like, all right, he's in lag.
He's a
I can
genius.
grab him, you know.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, well, you just keep clicking down tilt. and now I've lost because I crossed you up. Nah,
Yeah.
it's not okay. K9 was right. K9's like video. He has like a assault video on the auto turnaround.
Yeah.
And
It's 100% true.
like, oh, I felt that. I really felt that.
All right, I'm gonna have to. I haven't seen that. The K9 Salt video
Yeah.
on auto turnaround.
Absolutely.
That sounds good. Classic Jono subscriber with tier 1, 11 months. Thank you, Jono. I think it's just because he's turned on the stream that we got the notification. But
Yep.
K9's
So-
Bruce video is amazing.
Those are some changes I would make to the game.
Yeah.
As
I
for,
think the only one he would actually accept so far would be the run through people. But even that seems intentional.
it's like they're all intentional. The only thing that I think would realistically change, which I hadn't mentioned yet, was like obviously the whole point of the game was like, oh, it's kind of like Melee now where there's no lag, but now you don't have to L cancel it.
Yeah.
Uh,
You would add some mechanic that incorporates skill to.
so that is an interesting point.
But that's the problem with
but-
Melee. That's why people
but-
get so many effed up fingers.
So-
is because of L canceling.
Well, you bring up like three things I want to talk about.
Okay,
now.
okay.
All right. So, firstly, I would just like get rid of the stupid end lag on like the really dumb ones and just make them a bit more, I don't know, honest for lack of a better word. Like just put them more in line with like, yes, they're good, but like
They're not free.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Like you know,
Shadru says more N lag for big sword aerials, please.
you know,
which is something you would
that
agree
kind of
with.
stuff.
Yeah,
Like they already have range. I got the Paolu's a big offender. Like what I really don't like is characters being able to not space their aerial whatsoever. They can literally land like in you
Yeah.
with an aerial,
Yeah.
and you can't punish it
Yes.
because there's no lag on it.
Yep.
So like in Smash 4, a big thing was like hit them as far away as you can, but still hitting them.
The
or,
only
you know,
move
or,
that
like,
was
being in
like
front of
that
them.
in 4 was ZSS's Nair.
Yeah.
And even that was like,
And
you could only jab, and
and-
the jab is unsafe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that would be like frame 1 jab after that.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
dumb. Actually, what I think would solve that, which was more likely to change, is the shield grab nerf. How it's like 5 frames slower.
Yeah.
If you just get rid of that, make shield grab normal. Because I don't know why exactly they did that. There was probably something degenerate that I'm forgetting about in Smash 4 as to why now shield
Well,
grabs
with
are slower.
parries.
No, like
No, I mean.
so like
yeah,
if you
okay.
grab, it's like frame 5. If
Yeah.
you shield grab, it's like frame 10.
Yep.
That kind of thing. So, but then what they've done on top of that is landing on your shield is even safer than it used to be. So now it's a safer. People are safer on your shield, and one of your outer shield options is worse. So it just makes for a bad combination of like
But that just makes everyone's just using the up Bs out of shield.
exactly,
Yeah.
which is A, like not interesting.
Yeah.
And B, only some characters can do that. And C, half of the up B out of shields, like if it's something like Palu, or like say like Peach, is like neutral air is like -2 on shield. It's like they can still get their shield up before the up B out of shield
Comes
you
out,
know.
yeah.
Like my frame 6, like I need someone to be basically -6 on shield or worse for me to up-B them.
So in general, you would be arguing to Sakurai, look, some of these aerials are just too safe on shield for what they are.
Yes,
Right.
definitely.
Right. Fair enough.
And
Because
I
he
think,
has
I think
shown
that
that
is something that he would change.
Yeah, I mean, he has shown that like that's not as intentional with every character. Like some moves work almost identically to like Palunair, like Plant Nair, right? With the same sort of concept where you got like the aerial hitbox and Banjo Nair, but they're not as safe.
Yeah.
They sort of work as a this has a big hitbox, it carries for combos, but it doesn't. It's not free on shield. It doesn't like provide you with free stuff. So yeah, I agree. He might agree to that.
So I've remembered why they would have.
Really, you're just saying nerf Palu and Wolf and some of those.
They're not even the best though, but they're definitely like it's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But I remember now, of course, like in Smash 4, run up and shield was so good.
Yes.
You could perfect shield and then grab them instantly.
Yes.
That
was too good.
So now like that has removed run up shield into grab as an option.
Yeah.
But the problem is now again now just landing on your shield like there's nothing you can do because you can't shield, you can't grab them. So
it's just too good. It needs a slight All right. So the second hypothetical we've gone through that one. He would agree to nerf some moves. Neutral air dodge landing leg? Nah, that's fine. If you die and go to heaven, and at the pearly gates, God tells you that the rule set they use up there is WarioWare, FD, Lilat, Battlefield, and Skyloft, would you accept it, or go to hell where the devil has offered you to make any rule set you wish, and everyone would use it?
I would go to hell.
You'd go to hell? Fuck you guys. WarioWare? No. FD? Ain't happening.
Yeah.
Skyloft? Oh, you lost me.
I will sacrifice my well-being for the good of the community and make an honest rule set.
Hell sounds better here. Oh yeah, besides like the stabbing and the eternal fire and all that stuff.
I think the Couch Warriors rule set right now is pretty good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be using it if we thought it was bad.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people's problems. So there's two big things. A lot of people are like, my character is good on FD. There's no FD. I don't like it.
Yeah.
My character is good on TNC. There's no TNC. I don't like it.
Yeah.
The genuine problem with the rule set is Lilat.
Yeah.
Because it's an overall undesirable stage. I think it's like,
which it at some point doesn't deserve.
Yes. Oh, it's hated way too much for what it is. Like,
yes.
So like if Smash 4 Lilat was still in this game, it would be banned free because tilting's dumb. It's objectively like way worse than the others.
It's broken.
But the tilting fixed it so much, and the underside is fine now because you slide up
a lot better.
You don't get caught under it. The only problem is the ledges themselves.
Yes.
Which I think people just need to take a good look at the stage, look at where the ledge actually is, the confirmation box, whatever it is that registers like you grabbing them. Look at their own character's grab box. It's very odd. It's kind of like above them and in front of them. It's not really in them very much.
Okay.
So I think people kind of have like they kind of try to I can't draw a diagram or anything like that, but they try to slide up the stage and then they think that they should grab it.
Yeah.
But really the ledge hitbox is in them or slightly behind them.
Yes.
While the snap hitbox is in front of them.
Yeah.
And that's why they missed the ledge.
And they don't understand that.
And they don't understand that.
Right, but you reckon if like it's one of those stages that the more you get used to it.
It's one of those like people just like understand how the game works, understand how the stage works, know what's going on, and then you can figure it out.
Okay.
Like obviously that's.
But I thought Couch Warriors was bringing back FD as a counterpick stage.
So that's another thing we're talking about.
Okay.
But before to clarify what I'm talking about, like obviously, it's not super desirable.
Yeah.
I would love it. I would love for every stage to be good and work properly, but that's just not Smash.
Okay.
Every stage has an issue.
Yes.
Stuff like that. Although in this game it's way better. Like FD has been terrible in every single game except for Ultimate. Like Ultimate is the first FD where it's like not completely stupid.
How do you mean?
And even so like in Melee it's like super huge.
Okay.
Like really really long.
Right.
The sides don't match the visuals of it. Same for Smash 4. The sides didn't match the visuals.
And you also had the light,
some
the
bits
background.
you couldn't wall jump off of when it looked like you should have. You could actually get caught under FD at some points on the underside.
Yep.
the flashy visuals, the background, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Brawl had like really funky like ledges on FD.
Okay. I don't know this.
Very like you could get like pineapples on the sides.
Right.
It was really strange. And it kind of had like a little bit of like a cliff thing, like the Melee Battlefield. Some people may not be super. Yeah, it's really funky.
Yep.
So like, but again, like say FD in that game would be legal. I think like in Brawl, like Battlefield, Smashville, FD would probably be fine. And then all of the others, like, you know, like they're just like such a downgrade from those three. Like,
yeah. But now, like in comparison,
now I think Lilat is like relatively fine.
Yeah, in comparison to what they had to deal with in the past.
Yeah, so like, especially from someone like me, where I'm used to melee ledges, where I have to be so precise.
Yes.
It's kind of like, this is still like the freest snap in the world to me that I can just do it.
Yeah.
Slants again. Like basically the huge problem with Lilat was the tilting.
Yeah.
I don't think Lilat's design inherently is bad, but just fix the ledges and it'll be fine.
Okay.
The main problem is kind of like, in this game we have like 3 or 4 good stages.
Yeah.
3 or 4
That's
stages.
still pretty good.
3 or 4 does not work for a rule set.
Yes.
So
we've thought about it.
It's basically your compromise. Like you're either of the mind where it's like, there are 9 stages that are good. There's no degenerate aspect of their gameplay. You know, like Smashville platform camping or sharking under the stage because you can pass through it. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or the sides make you die at 30 to a forward smash, WarioWare.
Yeah.
They're all like, they're fine. They might not be desirable for my character, but I can ban them. But they are not necessarily ban-worthy as a whole.
Yeah.
Then you have the mindset of like, I want to remove all aspects of jank whatsoever. If there's any sort of jank, which I think I think TNC is like a pretty janky stage that people for some reason don't think is janky.
How come?
I think the transformations is like
Janky?
horrendous. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
really?
I mean, you can die at 20. You shouldn't die.
You mean like with carry-offs or like?
Yeah, like carry-offs, even like, so platform to blast zone is the same distance as WarioWare stage to blast zone.
Ah, right. Yeah, yep. That's
like,
nuts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even then, like, the stage to blast zone is only dead like 10% later, which is still like pretty early, but like not degenerate. TNC is the same side blast zone to Smashville. Everyone's like, Smashville's the small one.
Yeah, no, it's
TNC is smaller because the stage gets closer
to the sides.
Yeah. So that
the bigger
Ness
stage,
back
but
throw will
same.
kill the earliest of from
At TNC.
at ledge, that kind of thing.
All right.
Even then, TNC is like, you have the whole platforms off stage thing, which is like a bit funky. Like that's always a bit of like a red flag.
You always see that stuff on like the top 10 WTF moments.
You get like the situations where people die at 10, but also like it's a pretty safe position to be on that platform. The only reason it's not is because it goes away.
Yeah.
And then the going away process is funky. Like you could get not lilated. You could get carried off.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff happens all the time. But people are kind of like, oh, that was dumb. I shouldn't have done that, which is true.
But at the same time, that's still a level of jank.
That shouldn't have been the punish for you doing that.
Yeah. Okay.
Dying at 10 or 20, that kind of thing. So and also like issues like TNC is a lot more universal. Like the problems with it affects everybody. Where Lilat, it's like some characters
get super janked
kind
out.
of get janked out.
And then
Yoshi's
other
Story,
don't.
some characters really benefit double triplats, but it's not a universal issue. Like most characters like don't really care that there's 2 triplats, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Univa, the curves on the side, like it only affects Zelda. Everyone else is fine. Like I guess like the Nesses, but like just get good and like just do it normally.
Yeah. Okay.
Palutena.
Get goodnesses.
Palutena, it's like she also gets janked out, but also it's her best stage. So there's
trade off.
It's trade off, and also like all she needs to do is like do it from like a 45-degree angle or similar, and she's not gonna get
have slightly more skill to understand that you're gonna get janked out.
It's like just like if you are positioned where you will be, janked, don't up be there.
Yeah.
Don't expend your double jump and then be there.
Doesn't Palu have a wall jump?
No, she doesn't.
No, I'm thinking someone else.
And it's like,
Sheik.
okay, sure. you know, I guess in some situations, some character may be able to force her to be there.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's still
Anyway.
her best stage. Anyway.
Point is, like, we have the luxury in Ultimate to narrow down stages way better than we did in the past.
It's basically like, do you want absolutely jank-free stage, or do you want all the ones that are like good enough? And because, in my opinion, having completely jank-free stage lists like will result in like 3 or 4, that doesn't work. You need some sort of compromise of like good enough stage without the bad jank.
And Lilat is probably good enough.
So
out of the rest.
in a 5-stage list, so
Lilat's the necessary evil.
Yes, because it is the one with a different stage layout, which is like super necessary.
I mean, when you look at it objectively, it's almost like a neutral stage. Because the jank is indiscriminate.
I wouldn't say it's the most neutral stage.
I wouldn't say it's
actually,
neutral stage.
Actually, here's a hot take.
I won't say it's the most. Take.
In my opinion, Univer is the most neutral stage.
Yeah, all right. I don't know about that. Isn't it huge?
No, not super huge.
All right. Yeah. What do you mean by super huge, though? What's the comparison? Like what?
I can't remember.
Okay.
But I think Univer is the most neutral stage. Outside of like, yeah, sure, Zelda can't up B, like from one down there.
Yeah.
But
matchup
spread wise,
it's the most neutral.
Yeah.
Not Pokemon Stadium 2?
No, that's a huge misconception.
Wow.
Like all the top tiers like love that stage.
But because of the space and
just because of the stage control means so much, and the platforms are really good. Like yeah.
Anyway,
I don't want to.
That's a nice hot take, though.
Yeah.
We're people in chat.
Yeah.
Shut up, idiot. Bruh.
I love stirring up the people.
Yeah. No, you've said that for a while, though, so that's fair enough. And then we've got a bonus hypothetical cap. We've got time. We're going to move into the next stuff. We'll probably have to rapid fire it. But if you currently went into your infamous BAM gauntlet with your current Bowser and no K. Rool, would you still win?
Ooh. I think so.
Yeah?
Well, me right now,
you've
going
improved.
back to back then.
Yeah.
And they're still as good as they were back then.
Yes.
I think I don't know if I can guarantee that I would still win, but I think I definitely could still win.
It's almost like I thought about this, and it's here's another question. If you had your K. Rool now, and you went and did your BAM 11 run, do you think,
No.
But like they're still the same.
I think my K. Rool's gotten worse.
Oh.
I don't know how, but like I don't know. I feel like I've just like forgotten how to play him properly.
Yeah.
I can't do the same stuff. Interestingly, if you look at the VODs, I suppose you can't now, but when I was like, I really did not jank out anyone.
No, yeah.
I didn't croc copter anyone.
You were just reading.
0. I was I was just putting the right stuff in the right spot.
Yep. Down smash.
My recoveries were also pretty bad. Like now I use like up air a lot to like stall out and bounce around.
Yeah.
I think my recovery is much better as K. Rool now.
Yep.
But just my general playism is worse. I think stuff like extra would be easier because Bowser does way better against Game & Watch than K. Rool does.
Yeah.
I think I may very well lose to J Dizzle if I went Bowser into him.
Okay.
And I beat him for top 24.
Yeah.
Cherry as well. I think I would have a lot of trouble against Cherry.
Yep.
But I think I would do better against True 4, Luco, and Extra.
Some of the top tiers.
So like I feel like if I got to that point, I would do better.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could get to that point if I played Bowser now.
Yeah, it's interesting to think of. That's why I wanted to pose it to you, because I was like, it's funny to think of. It's one of those things where it's like it was the right moment at the right time. You had all the like things going for you.
The stars aligned or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the assignment that was
destiny.
2 weeks late.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Something happened.
Something clicked.
Looking back, I don't even feel like I was playing that out of my mind or anything.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, I just kind of look at it and it's like, yeah, that's kind of what I'd normally do. Or like, oh, that was a really stupid thing for me to do.
They weren't ready for the Ben.
I don't really know what exactly happened.
That's probably the best way to put it. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how I did it. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the end of Hypothetical Caps. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those were the fun. They're mostly about considering the situation, but they're also sometimes really good for bringing out cool opinions, and you did for most of them, so that was good. Then we'll go on to the next segment, because we're at 9 o'clock.
Yep. That was quick.
And yeah.
That hour went quickly.
Yeah.
Talked too much.
Nah, it's good, because I feel like each podcast is going to have its own feel, you know?
Mm.
And this one's mostly about discussion.
Just me talking shit.
That's good. Twitter questions. We just got to have the segments done, right? Because people put in their questions.
Yep.
This is where you get your laptop out.
Yep.
Because Ben wanted to be prepared. And let me just say, I don't condone this anyway. If he starts reading out questions, we all have to make fun of him in chat.
Absolutely. I'll try to only refer to it if I'm having trouble thinking of what to say.
Okay.
But I thought there were some very good questions in there that I didn't want to just give like a one-line response to.
Yes.
Like it's like, okay,
The
there's
reasoning
more to
I
it.
agree with. But at the same time, I don't want people bringing in laptops every single time we've got Twitter questions on the Tournameta podcast.
Yep.
So be wary, all of you. But
Yep.
here we go. We're going to the highest.
Just from the top to the bottom?
No, we go highest voted. Otherwise, there's no incentive to come out with new questions. Still no Spazzy? Well, I don't know. He hates me now, so we can't have that.
All right.
What's your Queensland QDPR, and describe why Millis was your number one pick?
All right, so Millis is a huge cutie, super huggable, very cuddly. My favourite boy in Queensland, really, and it was an absolute robbery that he wasn't on the QDPR. I'll open with that.
Brilliant.
Other players that were absolutely robbed.
Let's check the document.
Yeah, all right, let's check the document. Myself and Sicknick,
Right.
we're a couple of cuties on there,
Yeah.
and
Strangely absent.
yeah,
Yeah. It ain't right.
and we just weren't there. Brenton had us there, but Battle Dolphin was the final call.
That.
And he said, those two
Mother-
guys, one too many pimples or something.
Oh my God.
They're not cuties. So I was
Battle Dolphin, you in
deeply
chat?
offended by that. Yep.
Put yourself out here so we can all curse you down.
Various people that were missing. I'll try to remember them, but they weren't there because they were inactive. Like that, inactive from events, so they weren't included.
Yeah.
Curtin is a cutie. He's a Smash 4 vet.
Nice.
Yourself,
Yeah.
a cutie.
You better
You
believe
weren't
it.
there.
I put in so much work.
There are so many cuties out there. Like Queensland is truly a handsome state, but there's like a bunch more that I'm blanking, and I wish I couldn't think of them when I put up the document earlier today as well. Maybe they'll come to me over time if we bring someone out.
Who else did you have?
That was all my notes there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sick Nick, yourself, Millis.
I wouldn't remove anyone from the QDPR. I'd merely extend it.
Yes, you'd extend it to 20 members. Is
Yep.
the note there?
Yeah, I think thinking on it again, I think there might have already been 20. But basically, I would only add people, not remove.
So basically, what we have to tell Battle Dolphin is that he needs to be more observant.
Yes.
He needs to take in.
He obviously hasn't looked at me enough.
He needs to start objectifying people more.
Yep. That's
And
for sure.
yeah, that's the feedback going forward.
Absolutely.
So it was correct. No, it wasn't correct.
Yep.
You missed everybody you needed to. Anyway, we'll go to the next question. Thanks for that one. Who asked that one? Millis. Thanks, Millis. We're on 9 likes from Verse, who is now 1-1 with Rays right now.
Fantastic.
Good on you, mate. He's missing his question.
Potential OSBR player.
Verse?
Rays.
Yeah,
Rays.
well, Verse will be now.
He doesn't have the results, but his skill level is there.
Well, if Verse beats him, his skill level's not there at all.
Exactly.
Verse will be on the PR. Anyway, I heard that Smash 4 got pretty stale by the end of it, and a lot of people dropped off. Is there anything we should be doing as a community to retain members and keep Smash Ultimate live in the future?
All right, so I
Can I answer this? You can answer it, but I'm gonna.
do you want to answer it first?
No, you go first.
All right, so
No, I'll go first, and then you answer it. We need the lower end of the players. We do a lot to make tournaments really nice and make them a great experience. But if you actually look outside of scenes and look at like some of what the locals do, they do incredible stuff to build a community. And like, yeah, Australia's privileged in comparison to a lot of the other communities in the way that like we are very much like inclusive and we work on our community skills but we still can do a lot more in like doing things that are fun for everyone and not just making the whole experience about the tournament and making it about your placing. There's a lot more that we can do. Crew battles have been a good one, right? And crews in general are really good.
side brackets are very good.
Side brackets are very good. And there's more that we can do there. And it is sometimes frustrating that is not done more. Sometimes. But that's all I had to say about that. Sorry, I had to get that out there because it's something that I've been campaigning for a really long time.
All right. I don't think this is in my notes, so I'll have to answer it legitimately.
Yeah,
All right. So, first thing first is what we already covered before. Is like if the top players and like the veterans and all that are all trashing the game, then it just creates a bad environment for new people coming into it. They're like, oh, I'm playing a game that's crap. Blah blah blah. This problem, that problem.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of have to accept the flaws, move on, and still enjoy it. Even if you're having a problem with it competitively, you can still enjoy it socially.
Okay.
Like that's kind of been me for like a long time. It's like I don't know if I super have the drive to like
be
go
the best, be
far and beyond and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I just love being with the people that I see every week, every month. It's just
they're your friends, they're your family, they're your crew.
Obviously, Smash 4 is a bit different because they had the DLC that like just destroyed the meta.
Yes.
Which again, if something happens, again like that in Ultimate with one of the DLC, it's so important that we recognize it and we neutralize it. Because on the one hand, so obviously we need to give it enough time. Like you don't want to be all sensationalist and be like, oh,
this is over.
The day it's dropped, we need to ban it. But the problem with Smash 4 is like we knew it was bad. We knew it was like toxic for the meta, but then we just kind of like let it happen because we don't have enough data, or like someone hasn't like done super well with it yet, and then it comes like a year, 2 years later, and now like there's so many people that have put so much time into it that now if you ban that character, it's like, oh well, I guess I'm not playing anymore because my character is banned.
Yeah.
So then it becomes a problem. Like that was the Meta Knight problem in Brawl as well. It's like took too long. So that's why I can really respect, say, the hero ban in South Australia.
Yeah.
At the same time, again, I don't want to conflate the two things because that was for a completely different reason than like him dominating the meta or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
no,
that was purely just like
this character
tournament unsuitability.
Yes.
But I think. Oh, can I still have the question up there? Because
reading it.
I still have more stuff to say.
Yeah.
I'll ramble on.
Retain members.
Retention, super important thing that the Brawl Vets didn't do like at all.
Yeah.
Was like welcome lots of new people and include them. Like it was very cliquey. It was kind of like here are the Brawl Vets and like the really good Smash 4 people.
Yeah.
And then there's everyone else in the room
just hanging out.
Yeah. And that was like what UQ Smash was like. You could see the PR, and I guess even at that point, like there was only like 2 or 3 Brawl Vets. Like they were friends. Like they weren't like rude to people or anything like that. But it just felt like I'm here, and if I was to like ask them for friendlies or something, I'd be bothering them. They don't want to be talking to me. They don't want to play me.
Yeah.
But now I think we've done a really good job of like, I am your equal. I'm not someone of a super high status. So like, why are you talking to me, new person? It's like, hi, I'm Ben. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Yeah. Do you want to play some friendlies?
Games? Yeah. Admittedly, I'm usually lazy and like I don't talk to people enough and I don't play friendlies enough. But I would like to think that if
people approached you, you'd be like, yeah, sure.
Exactly. I'd say, yeah, sure. I would like to think that people don't think of me as some
unapproachable
like
asshole.
Elitist. Unapproachable. Yeah. I think that's super important that we learned that like far too late because people stopped playing partly because of Bayo, mostly because of Bayo. But then that kind of made us really appreciate when someone new would come along and we're like, hey, we only have like 20-man events now.
Welcome to the club.
You're welcome to the club. We'd like to get to know you.
Here's
like,
your I hate Bayo badge.
Let's try and get this guy to like keep going.
Yeah.
So we have one more person, to hang out with.
Now it's hard to keep track.
You can Smash. It's like there's 100 people in this room. I'll just see them next time, I guess. Like don't know who they are, but there'll always be 100 entrants. Blah blah blah. That's not the case at all.
Yep.
We've even seen it. Already, we used to have 60, 70-man FNSs. Now they're consistently 40, 50.
Yep.
We had the 102-man Rambat. Now they're consistently 60, 70.
Yep.
Where obviously that's always going to happen because the people who are only have a small
it's a natural
interest
effect.
in it. Yeah. But we can do stuff to try and keep them coming back.
Yeah.
As side brackets is a
in
good
some
one.
way, it's the responsibility of everyone, not just you and the top players, but everyone to be friendly and try and make
and make an effort.
Yeah, exactly.
To be like, hey, you are one of the people here. we acknowledge your existence here. How's it going? You're a person too. And I think that's super important. So you
just don't be a dick is like one of the main things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone's really ever been like that, but there's definitely like more people could do in general, myself included.
Yeah. I mean, there's always improvements. As long as you're aware of that and you're like trying to become a better person, then it's all G in the hood.
Stuff like, so three big things. I think we've facilitated more of a culture of like interstate travel in Ultimate.
Yes.
Where like it took
ages and so much to get anyone from Queensland to travel.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like I'd talk to people, they'd be like, oh, I don't know, not even people. Just I would hear around from I guess one or two people's previous experiences with interstaters, and they'd be like, oh, they're not very nice people. I don't get along with them. No point, no point of traveling interstate. I won't do that. It's like, all right, obviously traveling is not for everyone, but then we had more people who would travel interstate and be like, this is really cool. What the hell were they talking about?
Those people, yeah.
There was a really awesome experience hanging out with my Queensland buddies and meeting new people. Like, it's super good from like the social side.
Yeah.
Like in the very least, you have the social side of like, I knew 50 cool people from Queensland.
Yeah.
Now I know 150 cool people from Australia because they're all here.
One of the best experiences when we went to SXC and the Gong Boys showed up and they just bought drinks. We had a great time in the night.
Yeah.
And I was not expecting it because like my assumption was, based on what I've heard, that a lot of people would just like, they're either super serious about the game and that nobody shares the same sort of culture. Yeah. But it's not true. And as soon as you start traveling, you realize it's not true.
There's so many cool people out there. Yeah. Like Jazzy is one of my favorites from Victoria. Yeah. Like he's practically my brother. And I don't know. It's just super, super cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
Like everyone who travels always loves it.
We're off the topic, but...
I'd say we're still on it. But quickly.
How do we train players? Interstate travel.
All right.
Don't be a dick.
Majors. We didn't have a major for the longest time.
Now we've got one.
Having a major is so important, having people come to you instead of you having to go all the time. If basically, you get that major experience that like so many people don't want to commit $300 to go interstate. Now they get it in their
for however much
backyard. Yeah. They go out there like, oh, there's a major experience. I love it. Then they want to go interstate, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Last one, Arcadian.
Yes.
So good.
Is that I'm hearing rumblings.
I am hearing rumbling as
you're hearing. You're making the rumblings.
Well, some of them. I think it's super important, just like to encourage the lower mid-level. Which is super good.
Guys are more important.
Which is why Lachlan and I are also doing like the Queensland 40, which I think is like so much better. Like top 10, it's like it's good. It serves its purpose. Like
but
obviously,
the 40
people
gives you
it's a lot more attainable goals. Like it's like, wow, there's that guy I know. I can beat him. It's so much more reachable. It's a lot less.
Sick Nick, review the 40 now. Well, we gotta go. We gotta keep going. Maybe we can review the 40.
I'm sorry, I've been dabbling on, but like
let's quickly go.
Interstate travel, having your own major, Arcadian, talking to people, side brackets.
All right.
As well.
Yes.
So people don't get burnt out and appeal to casuals more.
All right. Sock tier list.
Sock tier list.
We've got pictures.
All right. Do we have the pictures up? All right.
We're speed running this so we can get to the 40, guys.
All right. So
Help us out.
These are my S tier socks. The first one is my
Croc socks.
My Croc socks.
The fruity. They got a yellowy tinge.
Yep. That Sweens. Lizzie got me for my birthday.
That's S tier in my mind.
Absolutely S tier. I love them. They're really sick. The second one are the sunny side up egg socks.
Oh,
that I
those
bought.
are eggs. Beautiful.
Lizzie and I again we each bought a pair. And we wore them. I'm wearing them right now, tonight.
Yep. Oh, they're in the shape of love hearts.
Yeah, they're in the shape of love hearts. So we wore those when we were playing doubles at Sunny Side Up.
Oh my god, that's so cute. You can also wear those for Christmas.
You can. Definitely can. The third one, they're some of my older socks that I currently have. I just think they're really snazzy. I love the navy blue and white with the red.
I'm getting Cat in the Hat vibes.
Really combination. They're a lot like thinner socks as well. So like they're a bit, if it's a hot day, you can wear them as nice. That kind of thing. I think they just look cool. The fourth ones that my dad gave to me. Again, they're thicker socks. Like how it's very much very much the sort of socks that he wears. So like my love of socks comes from my dad's love of socks, like good socks.
Yeah.
And he kind of wears like. He wears socks more like the stripes rather.
So
than,
when you
rather
need to
than the
channel
stuff on
your
it.
dad, those are the socks that you
Yeah,
wear.
the two on the right are like
Yeah.
the socks that my dad wears. Like he's very fashionable, man.
I love it.
And my hate for feet. I absolutely hate feet.
You hate feet.
And that's why I love socks, because they look so good. Feet do not.
So you have like an opposite foot fetish.
Yes.
Right.
So I hate feet. I love socks.
I say right like that's correct, but that's confused me.
So it's like, if someone's ugly, you just want to put a mask on them. And like, damn, that's a good mask.
Jesus Christ. There you go. That's a good...
All right.
Would you do that in real life if you like had
no.
if someone was ugly? Would you be like, listen, I've got a mask hanging about?
No, I'm far too nice.
Okay.
Everyone knows I'm a darling.
But with feet, you'd be like, yeah, someone you
hell
should
yeah,
put
any
socks
day.
on.
Indiscriminatory.
You would put. What are you doing down there, Ben? Oh, I'm just fucking covering up your feet.
Get those stanky things out of here.
All right.
All right.
So that was S tier.
Those were my S tier socks.
Yep.
So these are my A tier socks. You see, the typical, some at the top. You have a few more going on, as you get
These
lower
are
down
A-tier.
into the A tier.
Yeah.
So those are my yacht socks. Here you can.
Yacht socks.
Yep, they have yachts on
Oh,
them
okay.
as well.
I thought you wore them.
I
on a
don't wear
yacht.
them on socks.
I was like,
Sauce
Jesus
yachts.
Christ.
So here you see a common theme of blue.
Yeah, you like blue?
Big fan of blue.
Is that
I've
Fox
been
socks?
I've been told that blue doesn't suit me very well, but I do like blue.
Oh, and look at
Those are Mario Bros.
You don't have
socks.
blue eyes, so they don't
No,
bring
I
out your
don't.
eyes.
Those are Mario Bros. Socks
Nice.
that I bought at the same time as I got SpongeBob socks.
Oh my
And
god.
I love them. They're also A tier, but I could not find them today.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't seen them in the
I-
images,
no,
but
I-
they
I-
would be in the A tier.
They would be in the A tier, but I couldn't find them at all today.
Okay.
And they're just like pure yellow, like SpongeBob yellow with just his face on the
Someone
side.
could say you weren't ready.
I was not ready. It was
SpongeBob
a
was
pretty
ready.
last minute decision. I was like, hang on,
You
Jen.
weren't.
I could actually like set, because I imagine me having
I'm
to
ready.
try and describe these damn socks. Like,
Yeah, you
would
had
not
to get
would
the
not be able
images.
to do it. And then the last one, donut socks as well.
Beautiful.
Lizzie also got me those for my birthday as
Oh
well.
my God.
But that personally, I love the Croc socks so much.
Yeah.
I love them all so much, but the Croc socks were S tier. Donuts, one rung
It's
down.
hard to
but
separate
I
them,
still
but yeah, I
love
had
them
to.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was my A tier socks.
Alright. Someone asked about his socks, sick Nick. Don't be so rude. Jesus.
All right, so those are my BTS socks.
Yeah.
I think a couple
Bacon and eggs.
Yeah,
and
so
then
bacon
just-
and eggs. I wore those at Sunny Side Up as well, like for the diner theme.
Yeah.
Kind of blue
And then
ones.
These blue and ones, these blue and grey ones, they kind of look like the kind of socks you would stuff a dead like guinea pig or rat into, or
Yes.
find on the side of a road with
these,
a dead
these
guinea
socks are
pig
mostly
in it.
kind of a bit older, a bit worn. They don't look very nice anymore, but the patterns I think are nice. I like the pink when it was a bit more vibrant. Like it wasn't like a fluoro pink, but I like the pink on the grey with the black dots. You can't see it very well, but the far one is like very thin, like white stripe, black stripe, white stripe, black
Okay.
stripe. So it looks like nicer in person.
He
Again,
doesn't even eat bacon.
the
Yeah, well,
colours-
that's why they're in this tier.
the color's a bit washed out at this point. And again, you're seeing a bit more grey. Like I think they're fine. But yeah, that's my B tier. And then my C tier, which will be up next, like it's just very much like just grey and black,
Yeah.
basically. It's like a lot less interesting.
So these have 2 dead guinea pigs in them instead of one.
Basically, yes. I couldn't find a bunch of my other pairs of socks, but they were also, all the rest were also like C and B tier, basically. All my great ones I have shown to the masses, aside from my SpongeBob
Yeah.
socks.
Which we will find and obviously
Yeah.
come out.
So I have like 25 pairs of socks or something stupid.
Yeah. Anyways,
And no shirts or shorts.
that was sock tier list.
Yep.
We'll do one or two more.
Yep.
We had that one prepared, so we had to. What are your prepared answers? So those are the ones
All
that you
right.
obviously wanted to answer.
There was my Australia about being noteworthy, something like that, like how good Australia is in the grand scheme of things. Growth in the scene. Already done the soldiers, the forgotten soldiers of the QTPR.
How about your dream top PR?
All right, so there's my dream top 10 Queensland PR and also my top 5 podcast guests that I did a bit of thinking about.
Yeah.
For my top 10 Queensland PR, I'm a big fan of Jesmo. He's a lad. It would be really cool just to have the whole saga of like his return. He comes back as number 1.
He's the best.
He was number 1 for the longest time in Smash 4, like,
Yeah.
at the end of Brawl. He might have never been number 1 over Apollo, but he was like very good. and like top 5 in Australia in his
Yes.
prime. Got second at SXC 15. Then I would have myself, because obviously I
You're
want
pretty good.
I want my
Yeah, you wanna be up
I would
there.
like myself to be up there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wouldn't mind being number 2. Just because it's nice. Like when I travel interstate or something like that, I don't find it stressful per se on the day, but it is nice to know that if I bomb out, you know, that kind of thing, that I wasn't like the number 1 heavy hitter, like, and you know, it's nice to have other people that are like better than me or on my level, where like
So you don't have to feel that
they
pressure.
yeah, it's like just not
Unnecessary.
the pressure's
You play
not
your
there.
best when you don't have that pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like I'm always a fan of kind of being a bit more of the underdog kind of thing. So
Yes.
you're not really an underdog
That's
when
one of
you're
the
number
sources
2,
of your power.
but it's still like it's cool being like an assisting heavy hitter rather than like the flagship.
Yeah.
Like I have to get top 8, otherwise that means Queensland sucks, or you know, that kind of thing.
you're the sucker punch that comes through people didn't expect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thoughts there. Then like 3 through 5 is just mostly like my mates, like Finn.
Yep.
Number 3 would be nice. I always like being above Finn.
Yep.
He's again last time I kind of see him mostly as my rival
Yep.
compared to other people. So optimal would be me above Finn.
Suck it.
Ellis, he's always like been 5th at best when he's like really like he's really good at the game. He's a really nice guy, but he's never cracked like the top 5.
Yes.
Like he's been 5th.
But it'd
So-
be nice for him
And
to
I think
get there.
4th would be nice, just so he's done it. He's finally like well and truly in the top 5. Unfortunately, in this list, I don't think I could put him higher. But without Jesmo, I'd have him 3rd, and then like bump us up, that kind of thing.
Where would you put Jesmo?
Well, Jesmo is number 1.
Oh, okay,
on
yeah.
that
So
one.
you would just remove him entirely.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
like if I was like a realistic kind of thing, like Jesmo.
And then you've
Jesmo's
got
not coming back.
Curtin returning.
Yes, so
with-
Gus after Flex, Curtin returning. He's another great guy, good mate of mine. It would just be really awesome for him to come back.
With the Warrior, you'd be happy with that?
I'll forgive him. So I mentioned that I felt bad for saying it in private, so I'll come out and be super honest about it. So one thing I really like, and there's no malice or personal bias or anything, but I like it when someone who is decent
Yeah.
or all right comes back, like goes away for a year or something like that, come back and get dumpstered on.
Because it shows the
Because
growth of the
it shows the growth of the scene, the
Yes.
improvement. I do not want number 8, you know, going away for a year, coming back, and now he's number 5.
Yes.
Because it's like, all right, that's
Have we gotten worse?
yeah,
And
you
what's
know,
going
that
on
kind of
here?
thing. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So when Jesmo came back and like lost to Kenny which is funny as fuck. Like for 4th or 5th, it's like, okay, that's pretty cool. When Jace came back and only got 5th at the FNS, it's like, all right, that's nice. Like,
yeah.
you know,
We've defeated the old demons.
He'd always beat Finn. Now Finn beat him. Ari beat him as well. Curtin coming back and going like 08 in pools. Like he used to be top 3 in Queensland. It's like, okay, it's good that like we have such a solid like lower and mid level that like they can't just come back and just like win for free. They
Yeah.
actually have
No,
to,
it's
they
good.
actually have
It's
to
good.
play the game and get good. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then going after Curtin, Shadrew. So I felt bad about
Oh
placing
my
Shadrew
god!
so
I
long.
just realized you put
Yeah,
Shadrew so low.
Yeah, exactly. I knew I'd cop a bit of flack.
How
for that.
could you do this to him?
But he's just next in line. That's I have no explanation for Shadrew other than like these are the people I have an explanation for, and I'm like, all right, well Shadrew can be next. Then.
Yeah, he's pretty good. We can believe
Then
him
after
there.
that, I have the two ultimate Chads, like Smash Ultimate Chads, the newcomer Chads.
Right.
Big fan of Janglio, big fan of Millis, and I'd love to see them both on the PR.
Nice.
I know they both really want to get good. Millis is giving up
They're
D for Greninja.
They're never getting
Which is
there.
it's always a heartbreaker giving up for you're giving up your character, but it's worth it.
Yep.
If you want to win, do what you need to win. There's no shame in that whatsoever.
Mills was about to complain that there's no piss game
And
on there.
it's been amazing seeing Janglio and Millis's growth as players in the scene, like going from they didn't play competitively. Now they're both quite good. Janglio is always going game 3. Unfortunately, always going game 3, but barely losing. A lot of those sets. But she is getting there. She's proven. Like she's beaten Crimson, who's like
classic old
I
school
won't
player.
say his exact ranking, but he's top 20 Queensland right now. And I think,
come on, let's get through this. We need to see the top 40.
I think he was HM at the time, so like they both have great wins. Millis has beaten myself. They're both great people, and I'd love to see them succeed in this community. And I think they can. They have the drive to. And I think if somebody like wants to, then I think that we should try our best to enable them to learn and improve. And I think that the mentality of that we have now is way better than what was there for us when we joined in Smash 4.
It means a lot for you to want that for someone else.
It's very much like fend for yourself, I want to win kind of thing. Where it's like, no, we can.
No, I'm not.
We can
playing
all,
my main and friendlies.
We can all improve each other, and then we can all get better. And you getting better forces me to get better,
and that will make us better as a whole.
So amazing, you know. Shitashi is of a similar mind.
Yeah,
and it's just fantastic seeing that. You know,
Shitashi's still one of the only players from the very start would teach you how to beat his character.
Yeah.
So that he would have to adapt.
Yeah, and then he can call you an idiot for still losing to him.
Yeah. He's a weenie. That's also true.
I am a weenie.
Anyways. Oh, I know. He was talking about you.
Exactly. The guys, the Sunny Coast guys, are doing a super good job of that. Like they always host a week. Every Thursday, Jos's house and Ari's house. And Jos's has consistent practice. Anyone can get along to it. And they've leveled up Aidento. They've leveled up Millis. I think Sifo is going now. Like, it's just so awesome to see.
Yep.
I think we need to do that more ourselves. Like, that was one of the things, like, back in the day, like, 4-on-1 would consistently, like, we need to try and get good.
Improve.
Like, Queensland's kind of free at the moment.
4-on-1's original goal was to take down Jace, wasn't it?
Yeah. We were like, this guy has won, like, 215 straight sets.
Kill him. If he bleeds.
How, you know, that's not a good look for Queensland. So somebody needs to beat him. And that's exactly that. I think Poppet had a similar thing where like he just consistently won.
Yeah.
So like Little Z, Turn Up, like they all got Little Z kind of got there, and then I think he got a bit demotivated. But Turn Up especially was like, I will beat Poppet. Like he may seem unbeatable, but I will beat him.
I'll crack him.
And he did.
Yeah.
I don't think Turn Up's ever been like number one.
But he did it.
He made him bleed, and then everyone's like, hang on. This guy if he can bleed, he can die.
Yeah.
You know
that was it. It was with Jace. Yeah, same thing. Anyways.
And that was fantastic. So, number 10, Shitashi. I love
my
Shitashi.
God.
He's a good guy.
It's the same thing with Shadru. You just left
right,
him until the very end because he was like, I've got to put Shitashi on.
There is a bit more reasoning behind Shitashi than there was Shadru.
Okay.
So I find Shitashi... I thought it before, but I especially think it now. Is like you need that certain level of execution and patience to beat Shitashi. If you're not patient and you're not good at like controlling your character, he'll just throw stuff at you and you get yourself hit and you die. So I would love to see Shitashi as number 10. No personal, malice or anything like that, but that
proves that the top 9 have all got that level.
Have all gotten to that point that they can consistently beat that man, and I would love that. Because right now we have the top 4.
But at the same time, I know you believe this. Shitashi's also one of those players that you see incredible potential in. A lot of the time, other people don't.
He could be so good. And what I love seeing, especially in the last couple of months, like he's beaten me. I thought I had his number.
Yeah.
Previously, and he's gone away, and I've talked to him, and we have like a similar kind of frame of mind. Like we don't play that much, but we think about
the game a lot.
And why am I losing here? What can I do better?
And so he's come up with some answers.
And he's like, Ben shouldn't be getting away with this. I can do that.
Yeah.
I may not be able to jab him or lemon him all, but I can forward smash and all this. And, and he's come up with a lot of counterplay, and he's so difficult for me now. Like,
yes,
I think the key difference was like I stopped playing him draining. I was able to kind of just work around his stuff easily enough. But now like the last 2-3 sets, like it's draining, like, and that's what he loves. He loves draining.
Once he's got that, he's clicked with you.
And exactly, and like he's got that back, and he's felt like how can I describe it? He said this himself, so I won't feel mean saying it.
Okay.
But he said that he found in the last few sets he's been thinking a lot more in the matchup on what he should be doing, and that's basically how I'd kind of describe it. As like, I don't know if it's muscle memory, but he's kind of like, when I'm here, I will do this.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, I'll try it again, and if that doesn't work, I guess I'll just stop doing it, or
and then
kind of keep doing something else. Where he kind of has his game plans that he'll kind of maybe jumble up a little bit, but it's like he will want to keep doing that.
Yep.
He doesn't like adapt a huge amount. I can't describe it very well, but I feel like, again, like in the matchup, like he doesn't think about necessarily what's happening in that specific situation, but he knows his game
I get
plan.
I get you. Like he's got his plan, and then like he's got sub plans that if the first plan doesn't work out, he'll switch it up.
Yeah.
But he'll never like mold himself around the scenario he's given.
Yes.
And so now that he's actually started to do that against you, he is achieving what the plan that he does like to do against you, which is to drain you.
Yep.
And then take out
so
your energy.
Initially I got it wrong. I thought he was missing aggression, which I think like you could still argue like if you watch like Poppett's video of
you should be aggressive sometimes.
Aggressive neutral. Like you should be aggressive sometimes. But I think it was, what was it? A punish game. That was it. His punish game is missing. Like, there'll be a situation where he knows the person's going to jump. It's a free back air. They're dead at 100.
Yeah.
But he's like, but if I'm wrong, then that is not the most favorable situation for me. So I will just throw a metal blade at him. And if that misses, nothing will go wrong for me.
Yes.
But then it's like, okay, that's
fine.
That's perfectly reasonable. But now you've dealt 2% when you could have gotten a stock.
Yeah.
And especially watching people like Boozer. Like, Shitashi is better than Booper from Victoria. He should not have lost to Booper.
Yes.
But his game plan just didn't work, especially against like heavies, where it's like, all right, fine.
I do this till 200%, and I'm still not getting the stock.
And now I'm going to kill you at 40 off of a read.
Yeah.
Where any other character like can't do that.
Yeah.
And I think like Ridley and Bowser especially like
are very good at that.
Can take advantage of his game plan.
Yes.
Where now like Shitashi is like really like mixed it up, and like it's just so much more difficult playing him, and I love it.
Okay.
Because I don't want to have figured out Shitashi and be like, okay, now I know your number. I'm never losing to you again. That kind of thing.
Yeah, you want him to adapt.
Yep.
Anyway.
Which is fantastic. And
anyway.
I mean no insult to Shitashi. He's a fantastic guy.
This list is completely...
I wish only the best to Shitashi, and it's fantastic seeing his play develop like this.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic.
Anyway, we've almost run out of time for Twitter questions.
Yep.
Because we go into so much depth. But there are any ones that you wanted to answer that you've written down that you want to quickly run through?
All right, I'll quickly run through.
And then I think we'll dedicate some of the remainder time to walking through the 40 maybe.
All right. Top 5 pod guests. I think Strix would be fantastic.
Okay.
He's a good personality. He's from ACT. We haven't had a Canberra person yet.
Yeah.
He's Oz PR, so he may be able to give some insight. Like he's better than me.
Okay.
So and I feel like he's a lot smarter than me in terms of like understanding the game and like thinking about what he does and why. Like I'm very.
How come you would pick him over any other top player though?
Mostly for like the personality aspect.
Okay, so you reckon he's got...
I think he'd work well just as a guest.
All right.
Really well. And also his recent... It may... Depending on when you do it, but relatively recently, he went to SIAM, Southeast Asia Major.
Yep.
Where there were 16 Southeast Asian countries in attendance, including Australia and New Zealand. He won without dropping a set. So I always love seeing that kind of stuff where it's like, I know Australia is good, And it's great
way
to see
better than people rate us, at least.
Exactly. Yeah. And like in my mind, I've always kind of like I was like, oh, okay, going from this result, Australia, I bet Australia is better than this region.
Yes.
And then one day I'm like, actually, I'll do the reverse order because I think Australia is actually kind of up there. What countries are better than Australia? And then that's what inspired my top 10 tweet. I'm like, hang on, Australia is kind of nuts. We're like 9th best in the world. We'd be like top 4 in Europe.
Yep.
And Europe is very good.
Anyway.
Kurigane Hammer, I think Brawvet, the whole Kurigane Hammer website as well.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a really good guest.
How many
really
top players owe some section of their career to him when they did some theory crafting with the Kurigane and referenced him and said, thank you for doing this? He definitely, and he has some wild opinions on the game.
Yep.
Getting him in. Yeah.
I'm sure there may be some stories that he could tell. I know Zero at a time wanted to buy exclusive rights to Kurigane Hammer, so he had the frame data in the game.
That's nuts!
Actually, I may have gotten that wrong. In the very least, he wanted like frame data coaching.
Okay.
And he would fly him out to a major that Zero was at, and
we could get the whole story from him.
He would have the information on hand, like what frame is this? Can I punish it?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I'm not for that amount of money, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure him or someone else also wanted to buy the website, so then that was their information
that no one else could use because
Yep.
it was free information. That'd be so interesting to talk about. That is a good guest.
Jesmo,
Yep.
again, I think it would be an interesting
On his way back,
insight.
we could talk to him about he got beat by Kenny and
So
many
you
other
could talk
things.
about him in Brawl. He
Yeah.
was only a kid. He was 13. You could
Yeah.
have a lot of interesting content about how he lived in Coffs Harbour. He had to go all the way up to Brisbane to go to these events.
Yep.
Fortunately for him, they were only like every 3 months anyway, so he could go to every event without like missing out on anything, and
Yeah.
also it was like not being too draining going every time. Jez Mum, I've never met her, but I've heard of Jez Mum, which is of course Jesmo's
Yeah.
mum. Apparently she's a nice lady. She'd drive him up every time, spend the day there, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think it would be interesting talking about his development in Brawl, becoming a top player.
Yeah, how he's
Early
done it.
Smash 4, his dominance in Queensland.
Yeah. What
Getting so good
The
in
scene
Australia.
was from his perspective at that time.
Exactly, traveling to Genesis 3, that kind of
Smash
stuff.
4 Boomers special.
Yep, and then you could even go about how he's been going to plays and stuff like starring in plays and stuff like
Jesus
that.
Christ, Mills.
What he thinks about Ultimate, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I am a huge fan of like history. I just want Shitashi to sit down and tell me
talk to me.
everything that happened in Brawl.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to.
And most of it, some of it's lost, and it's actually like all passed down by word of mouth now.
Yeah,
And then like
exactly.
weird images we find on Facebook where people have like horrible 2000s style. Anyway,
Exactly.
and then
Big Win Beer.
yes,
Again, funny personality. He's
Yeah.
a TO, so you could talk about what it's like being a TO and like so far away from the rest of
Yeah.
Australia. What it's like being there as a player and a TO.
he would definitely be a good
Yeah.
one. He's got one of the best personalities.
Yep, and then Pop It as well. You could even potentially do like a dual one with him and Big Win. It might get a bit messy with Discord and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But I would love to like really kind of pick at the mind of Pop It, because I feel like he's kind of like me. Like, seems a bit goofy.
but he's actually
maybe
got
not quite all there
some
kind of
genius
appearance.
level stuff behind
But like,
the scenes.
he is a smart guy. He
Yeah.
understands the game really well, and like he understands the game well enough to make these videos that are so good and really eye-opening content.
Yep.
Might be able to get a sneak peek as to
What-
what the next video
yeah.
he might be doing.
Could do.
What inspired him to do that,
And
Um,
how they've been popping off.
and like that kind of mind is definitely a reason why he's been number one in Perth for so long,
Mhm.
and how he's gotten so good in Australia, considering not to be rude to the Perth players, but they don't really have other Oz PR level
players,
players,
yeah,
that
he's
kind of thing.
the outlier.
He's
for a
he's
reason.
gotten so good in a region that you would seemingly
It's shit,
think,
is what you're trying to say. No, obviously, yes, he's an outlier within a scene that is
Yeah.
typically small.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be an interesting take.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
Jet has highlighted a question, probably the one that he wants to know the answer to, or it's because it's got 6 likes.
Yep.
Did you gain any knowledge firsthand about how tournaments are run over there that you think could be applied to our own scene? Also, more in general, what do you feel was the most important thing you've learned from the experience? You give me one sentence for the second one, but you
Yep.
can go into detail about this first part of the question. From Snow Rain, Saren Rend. I'm so sorry, I cannot pronounce
Not
things.
not
Say them
especially, other than like the 2GG events from the money that they've gained. 2GG is like sort of pretty similar to like Couch Warriors, that kind of thing. In their goal, like they get the money from the venue. It goes toward equipment so they can run better events, like bigger, better, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It goes back into the community. It's non-for-profit. 2GG might be for profit, I'm not sure. But basically, 2GG is at the point where they don't have a setup discount because they just have like 50 setups,
Themselves?
monitors and switches that they own, that they
Yeah.
bring. They have a mic with Z-Fly, and he just calls matches. Setup 1, this set. Setup 2, that set. Super organized.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Where at the moment, I think a speaker would be really nice for Rambats, but like FNS and Couch Warriors, it's all kind of like kind of shouting over a crowd and like
Yeah.
play your match there, that kind of thing.
A bit more
And
disorganized.
It's just that just that bit more disorganized and tricky to do.
I would have Spazzy talk about something for 3 hours, but he doesn't like me.
That's
All right,
fair.
we'll move on.
That's funny. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that's basically like I don't think they do anything particularly better necessarily, but they just have the infrastructure and like everything is there. They just call out matches and it's there. Anyway,
and then most important thing that you brought back.
honestly, I think the most important thing that I've learned from the US experience is how important the social side is in the Smash community. Like
something that
just
you
what it's like
learned
making friends
more to
because-
appreciate in the Queensland scene.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I've always appreciated the social side, but my realization there was like if I did not have the social side, I would have no interest. And at this point, in competing, like going to those events, it was nice meeting new people. It was kind of draining meeting so many new people.
But it's not what you fell in love with when you started.
But it's not what I fell in love with. Like
yeah.
you join for the game that you love and that you want to get good at, and you stay for the people that you love.
Exactly.
And I feel like if I've always found it strange, like when people quit the scene and they go dark, like they don't talk to anyone that went there. I just find that like I couldn't at this point at least I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like if I hated the game so much that I never wanted to attend again, I would still rock up sometimes. I'd say hi. I'd still be active in Discord and be like, hey guys, how's it going? Yeah. I'd still love to go to majors.
Talk shit in group chats.
Like majors, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd still want to go to majors and see everybody and probably like enter just for the majors, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I'd still want to be involved in the scene. And
with
like,
the
you
people
know,
in the community.
I'd enjoy doing commentary. I'd focus more on TOing, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like there's so many more things to enjoy about the scene than purely competing.
Yeah.
That it's a shame that when someone is fed up with competing, that they just drop the entire thing when there's so many more things that they can do.
It's almost offensive because what did I mean as part of the community to you if you never want to be part of it as soon as you get fed up with the game?
I suppose so. I'd rather not try and have that outlook on it because some people...
Yes, the Jado retirement.
Some people are more introverted, so they might still appreciate people and people's presence.
Yes.
They might enjoy seeing someone there, but they might not feel the need or even want to engage in a complete conversation with them.
Yeah.
But it can still just be nice, like familiar faces, you know, or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And other people, so, you know, that I think everyone gets something different out of the scene. Even if a whole group of people might love the social side, they might like it for different reasons. Like obviously everybody gets along with different people better or worse than other people, personalities, that kind of thing. Everyone has such a unique experience that there's any number of reasons why they may stay or leave and anything in between.
I think it's really good too because you're sort of letting people know at this point that people who leave and they're no longer contacted by the community.
Yeah.
If you leave and like you're not making the effort, it's not your fault. You're still wanted by the people in the community as well. There's just a disconnect. It's not necessarily that you are replaceable or that you're not wanted. Like people still want to associate with you and still people want to see you, you know, but the effort does have to be made both ways. And
yeah, so I'm sure like a bunch of the Smash 4 people would be like, oh, it'd be cool if Jasmine would come back. Like, you know,
yeah,
I'd like to get him.
I know lots of people.
But who messages him?
Yeah.
Who's like, hey man, how have you been? Like,
Exactly.
I don't do that.
I
Like,
don't do that.
I'd like to see him at events again. I think, you know, it'd be nice to be friends with him.
Yeah.
But I don't message him, so like.
And then he comes back and he gets beat by Kenny and makes fun of him. And
exactly, and he's like, "Why am I even here?"
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's true. Like, if you ever feeling like you are not appreciated by the scene, you are, and you just have to talk to people, and you know, let people know how you're feeling, and we'll
some people may not even like care about whether they think they're appreciated or not. It's like, all right, that was fun. Now I'd like to do something else.
Yes.
My time is done there.
That's fine too.
You know, that kind of thing.
We'll see you later.
All right. I hope I didn't dwell on that.
No, that was good.
I think that was one of the more streamlined ones, and it still took 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's all right. That was a good one. I think it was really important to get that information out there.
Yeah.
It was a wholesome one. Anyway, do we have any segments left? No. Sweet.
Fresh out of segments.
So we've got a whole, however long, slowly brainwash all the alt players in Deroa. They're both getting packs of ciggies. What? Okay. Oh, yeah, we've got the chat questions. But I think we're going to replace the chat questions with talking about the 40.
All right.
Because
we may have to briefly take a pause because apparently I need to look at the chat. So.
Oh, okay. 40, 40, 40. Oh, yeah, you need to...
They're
probably telling you, do not reveal the 40.
Yeah, exactly.
You never agreed to this. But let me say that if they're starting to say that, I'm going to delete your Facebook. We're going to reveal it anyways. What do you mean? Yeah, no. You guys, you're losing it. You're losing your question. But we will be interacting with you while we do the 40.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm ignoring you. We're still together. I mean, look, I'll have the kids on the weekends, and you'll have them during the weekdays. It's important that we, make them feel like the divorce isn't the end of having a mum and dad. It's the end of our relationship. Cap, get me on the potty. We can play CTR the whole time. All right. Cap smells. I'm not paying a cent of child support, Cap. Listen. All right. All right. Like, you don't have to pay child support, but I get the kids. And I get the dog, too. And guess what? I'm going to kill the dog. I'm going to take it and put it down. And you can't do anything about it.
All right, Lockie has done a fuck-off good job with this.
Oh, whoa, my God.
Look at that.
Oh, we've got the image. I'm looking at the image. It's exclusive. None of you get to see it. There's a purple color. Luigi. Holy shiver me timbers. This is pretty damn good. Oh, my God. Is that Sick Nick's placement? That's insane.
Yeah, he sucks.
You guys are so wrong. I can't believe I'm seeing this. I love talking about it when you guys can't see it.
All right.
It's making me
if you want
juicy.
Jet, I can...
The image is now being sent to Jet.
Yeah.
So that it can be previewed upon the podcast. So just hold your little butts tight. I'm fucking nuts, says Sick Nick. Well, you'll be very upset by where you are if that's what you think, because your placement is just horrible.
I will send you it. I will just quickly go over it to make sure there are no... Well, I mean, we could just put this one up, and if there are any typos or something like that, we'll...
Yeah, I'll think you're cute.
Well,
listen. I think I deserve to be on the QDPR, as was mentioned. I'm just kidding. I'm ugly, and I'm behaving that way. We're getting it on. I'm just trying to stall for time by pretending like some of these
thank
results.
you very much, Declan.
No, that's all right. True Upon number 4. Let me have a look, see where I can find True Upon.
Inactive this
Is that
season.
inactive?
Yep, inactive this season.
Oh, my God. True Upon number inactive.
But he would be top 15. Slightly higher than that, I think. But he was one event off of attending.
Can I just say this image is pretty clean, boys?
He had 8
Leak
points.
the theme?
He needed 10 to be active.
The theme is Luigi's Mansion themed.
Yep. Luigi's Mansion 3 to be specific.
Oh! We got it? Is it up?
Yep. Was that what everyone can see? Yep.
Yes? We've got the nod. Oop! Up! Up! Ah, nice. Oh, wow. Too big.
Is it possible to scale it down slightly? When you're missing the bottom row and the HM.
So as you can see, Ari is number 1.
There we are.
With Shadru number 2, Ben Gold, Sad Hour, Shitashi, Flex, number 6, Kajek, Spammage, Nagima, Sicknick, Quaxi, and Joz. So there's a top 12. And if you really think about it, a lot of people say top 12 is like we shouldn't have 10 as our block number. 12 should be our block number because it just makes more sense in a mathematical point of view. I don't know what
Who the hell says 12?
I have no idea
What are you talking about?
what
Declan?
mathematicians are going on about when they tell me that.
So that's purely just the 10 and then HM.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, well, actually, not even. The 12, I don't know why 12.
It's top 12. It's just those guys are a tier above, right? Just say yes.
Yes, you're right. Yes.
Because I'm
That's
Co's
right.
next.
I'm a noob. I believe... Actually, Lockie can
Can we
confirm
just
this for me.
appreciate the plus 14 that
Yep, on
Quaxi has
Quaxi.
ripped out of himself?
Yep. Quaxy's nuts.
Incredible. And look how many news there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
8,
7,
I think.
8.
Yep.
8 new players
8
in the
news.
top 40. That is insane.
Okay, so the tiers... So we did tier the list, but the tiers are not there on the image. So I can go through and talk about some stuff.
Did you guys factor in the most recent Ranbat?
No.
Okay.
That
makes
sense.
sense.
That was the first event of the... No, the FNS
the
before
next
the
season.
Rambat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've had FNS and Rambat of this season of the new one.
I'm officially the best active refit trainer, boys. Where you at?
All good, Lockie. No stress. I'll try and...
24. Hell yeah.
I'll try and... All right. So we have the top tier of players. The top... I don't know. Let's
12.
call it S
The top
tier.
12.
No.
Okay, S tier. Quaxi in S tier.
So we have the S tier, which is the top 4.
Oh, okay.
Ari, Shadru, myself, and Finn.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Clear top 4.
Yeah.
Then from there, we kind of have the gatekeepers to the top 5/4. We have Shitashi and Flex. They're in their own little tier.
Yeah.
A tier. Let's call it that. Or if we want, we'll go SS and then S.
Why not just X and then SS and then S?
Then from Kajek until Verse, we have A tier, which is 7 through 14. They're all very good players. They can
take games off of S tier?
Well,
or A tier? Because okay, we got to agree. Let's just go S, A, and then B, all right?
All right, S, A,
so
and
these B tier
we'll
players.
probably get into. There's like 7 tiers, so we'll probably go into like H or something like that.
No, we go F and then
so
F minus.
it's difficult to say because there are only
tier.
2 players on the 40 that don't have a PR win.
Okay.
Everyone else has at least 1 PR win.
Wow.
And I believe like that's like 1 person, and then everyone else has like 3 or more.
Look at you guys go. Wait, there's an animated version? My chops just got wet.
That's cursed.
What
is this?
Incredible.
Even I didn't know about this.
Brains out.
Brains out is Lockie.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't know who this is, and Jet will be checking it. So if it's just your dog's bum, we'll find out.
Are they floating around and stuff?
Oh, they are floating.
Sick. That is cool.
Like ghosts do.
I'm a big fan of that.
Very cool.
All right, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Those couple of seconds changed my life.
Spooky. We have 7 through 14, which is B tier. Kajek to Verse. They're all that group of player are like on par with each other.
Yeah.
Then we have Weeb to Crimson Comet, C tier. So that's 15 through 17. Again, they're I guess the gatekeeper to like just below PR.
Yeah. Wow, that's a small tier.
Then it is.
But that's I see that.
Then there's a bit of a drop from Crimson, and then that's when you have Battle Dolphin through Nick. So that's kind of like that point is like where you're really getting to like mid-level.
Yeah. That's the classic mid-level that people are aware of, and then you start digging through like.
And then from there you have 2 long boys of ranks 23 through 31, Konzo to Fly. Those fellas are all again around in the same level.
Yeah.
And this is going off of almost completely head-to-head, and then in some situations we might just have a little bit of panel discretion.
Okay.
Of just like.
Yeah, this player is.
Yeah. So the PR is a lot more objective. It's just like this is the data.
Oh, I just saw my boy Iro -2.
Where 40 is a lot more like it's still very head to head, but now it's like okay. If we think say like a good example is Kajek, he goes like chic all the time.
Right.
So it's like if someone has their win on Kajek, it's kind of like
well, did he play chic?
Yeah, but that was chic.
Yeah. So that's the discretionary. Yeah. It's not discretionary. I think this player is better than his results.
Where PR is like, yeah, but that was a tournament set. Yep. It is a PR win. We're counting it. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which you can argue is more inaccurate, but it's more objective.
Yep.
Going by the data.
And then
the final tier is 32 through to 40. Iro to Tom. They are all again roughly the same skill level.
Yeah.
And again, I already feel like this list is a bit outdated because, of course, it's going through a 3-month period.
Yeah.
And we've already been, 2-3 events since the data stopped being collated for this image. So I think like already we might say Squid Fist, for example.
He's probably gone up a bit.
This is purely going off at the top of my head.
So is Dags at 28. He's gone up too.
I have not looked at it, but like Squid is at least on face value making me think he's top 15 right now.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Dags as well, like
top 25.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Top 25, 20 to 25, that kind of thing. And then Joza is HM. So he's basically we didn't consider him like in the last tier or below that tier. It's just he's HM. He's just number 41. He's
still part of that bottom tier of the 40, but the cutoff was at 40.
We wouldn't. So yeah, the cutoff's at 40. We wouldn't consider him in or not in that tier. He's just simply the 41st. So we didn't really consider like he's
whether to tier him or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just going off the top of my head, it's like he probably would be next tier down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This 40 was a lot more. So I think.
So
like,
the 40 is not about. I'll put some words in your mouth that
All
might
right.
help you out here. The 40 is not about saying this is how good you guys are. It's more about rewarding you for the efforts that you've put in during the season, that the results have gone, and showing that you are recognized for what you've done outside of the PR.
Yes.
So what you've done during the season, your results have been quantified, and you can be proud of some of the achievements you've made. And if you're looking back and being like, well, you know what, I'm actually better than this placing, you can say that this shows growth, right? You can actually put it as evidence of like, I'm better than what this placing says. And you can be like, okay, cool, I'm moving forward. Like, I can see there's growth in my style. And you can also point out people ahead of you.
Yeah.
Like, if you're, you know, Joza and your honorable mention, you'd be like, okay, all I got to do is smash Tom, MP, Del, Vi, Sway. Like, these are the guys I need to start beating to move my way up.
Yeah. It's very much there to facilitate the growth and the development of players and people in the scene who want to improve. They have the motivation, they have the passion. And it's far more like, you don't have to look at the top 10 unbeatable players, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. It's like, this is what's
here are 40
ahead
players. You can look at any of these people. One of them might be your mate, blah, blah, blah. And it's just a lot more achievable. Like, it's a lot less daunting for new players, mid-level players. And it also makes it very competitive amongst each other, hopefully in a positive way.
Yeah.
We don't... So, like, a problem that Shitashi has mentioned about the ELO system, which could very well be a similar problem that the 40 may face, is if people goes down in a rank or whatever.
They feel negatively.
They feel like, oh, I suck now. I haven't improved, blah, blah, blah. Everybody is improving.
Yeah.
Your rank may be down by 2 points or whatever.
That's what the biggest thing that stood out to me is that how many of these players also have like bigger losses. Like, people are saying that I'm beating Delve and whoever, but like almost all these players have notable losses.
Yeah.
Which wasn't the case for like what you would expect out of a PR. Like,
yeah.
Beside the top 4, but even then, like,
so basically, yeah, the top 4
probably the most
is basically untouchable.
Yeah.
Except for Ari and I, we always, we might be in the mood to lose to number 35 to 40.
Yep.
On one night.
Yeah.
But outside of that, top 4 is very consistent. Shadru's worst loss is Negama, I believe.
Jesus.
This season. While Ari was basically the same, but he lost to Tom and Spazzy.
Yeah.
But we considered Ari's ability to consistently beat Sad Hour over Shadru's inability to beat Sad Hour. We considered that a lot more.
Because if you're beating a top level player consistently, it says more. Yeah.
So basically, like, Ari was like, beats everyone except for Shadru, number 2.
Yeah.
Shadru beats everyone except for number 4. So it's like, okay, he beats everyone up to 2, where Shadru can only beat everyone other than 4. So it's like, kind of, it's just the more impressive win record there.
Yep. He got cucked by mad matchup loss, apparently.
So
but yeah, sure.
So unfortunately, J-Dot was not active this time either. He would be on the 40.
Who's inactive? Gus, yeah, fair enough. Mittens, Classic Jono, J-Dot, Chirapon, Zyphonor, J-Oshi. Yeah, these are all guys that would definitely be on there.
So some of these, they're all basically people who would be on there. That's why you see this big chunk of 10 through 19 are all players who increased in rank, and you're thinking like, well, how is that such a big amount of players who've all increased with like no people decreasing? The only people from that could have been in there that are now not in there are Big Fratelli and Nick.
Yeah.
So why are there 10 people? And that's because of Churapon, Gus, Classic Jono.
People moving out.
So
it's not just because of that. Like, there's also 8 new players. So a lot of people have been off of the 40.
Yeah. So some people have gone off the 40. Some people have become inactive, and everybody has improved.
Yeah. So if you're looking at the upper half, there's a lot more greens than reds. Yeah. And the reds are quite small. So to be able to stay on the 40, if you were on it previously, if you've got a red and you're disappointed with how you've gone down, just think about how many people have been shoved off.
Only 13 out of the 40 that I just checked there, I might have gotten it wrong, went down in rank.
Yeah.
And like almost all of those, -1, -1, -1, -1.
Yeah.
They're...
Anyone who's above that really is off the 40.
Yeah.
I mean, Caboose and Nick obviously have big reds, but like even then, they're still on.
Yeah. Like Nick going through character crisis, stuff
rough.
like that, it'll happen. But you see huge strides. Like Kajak's a funny one because like he was already like number 7, but just he didn't have the head-to-head to be number 7.
Right.
Because he dropped a bunch of sets, so he kind of cleaned up his act a bit more.
Yeah.
This time, Quaxi, like huge improvement, stuff like that. It's really good to see.
Caboose not coming to tourneys.
Yeah.
But he could do better. Just Nick, my best results have been the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. But now you can see
so
like
now Nick is
the Warriors coming together.
He's primed to have a plus 20. You know.
Yeah. to reach 40. Up there.
Yeah. And Marby being the highest new player at number 25.
Absolutely insane.
15 spots into the 40. He's,
Yeah.
And that's really impressive. And Squid Fist also having one of the more impressive
plus 8s.
Increase plus.
Well, the highest one has got to be
Quaxi.
Yes.
And then second highest right behind him is Lockie.
Yep.
Yeah. Going from like 33rd to 21st.
That's insane improvement. That's incredible.
Yeah.
You guys should be really proud.
I also had a little bit of a blurb of like information about the 40.
Are you going to read it?
I'll read parts of it. So some of it are less interesting and like a lot more evident. Like I talked about like how the top 4's changed a lot.
Yeah.
Like everyone has movement in the top 5, which is quite rare. You often see like
the same.
Number 1 is the same. Number 2 is the same. Oh, but 4 and 5 are flipped this time where it's like, no. Ari plus 4.
Someone PM Ari and tell him he just got number 1 on the Queensland 40. He should be so proud. He should have a celebratory tea.
And he's
I bet he didn't expect
relatively new as well. He only joined at like the end of 2017, early 2018, and boom.
Yep.
Number 1.
We had him on.
Let's see. So we have a split between 24 Brisbane players, 7 Sunshine Coast players, 7 Gold Coast players, and we thought we'd differentiate it in 3 Logan players.
Okay.
Because Logan's kind of like, it's technically not Brisbane.
It's technically not Sunny. It's technically not Gold Coast.
And they kind of go to both a bit more.
Yeah.
To both, to like Brisbane and Gold Coast.
Sunny Coast rise up. Yeah.
Let's see. We talked about the inactives already. Yep. All but 2 players have a win on an HM ranked or higher player.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
So.
All players on HM or higher?
At least one of them.
Oh, okay.
So, all but 2 have beaten Jaws or better.
Yep.
Basically.
Okay.
But like, so I should say, HM or higher on the PR.
Yeah.
Not the 40. So
what's sticking out to me at the moment is Sunshine Coast and Gold Coast have crazy good representation.
Yes.
Based on the numbers.
They are both 20% of the 40 each.
Yeah, but they've also got...
Oh, you mean like high up?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Their representation
so Ari, of course, number 1.
Yeah.
So...
Ari...
They only have 1 Sunshine Coast player on the PR, but he's number 1.
Yes.
And then Gold Coast has 2 PR players as well. And then then Sunshine Coast kind of has like...
Does Jaws count as Sunshine Coast?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, as well.
So 2.
So 2... Well, he's at HM.
Yeah, right.
And then you have like the Weeb DFS as like the high level. And then you kind of go a bit further down, and that's where you have Millicent Delve as well, and Swate.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic to see them on the 40 improving. They're putting in hard work.
The thing was, though, like when we had the smaller scenes in the Sunshine Coast and the Gold Coast, they would improve at a different rate.
Yeah.
You know? They would be like, we wouldn't expect as much out of them unless they were outstanding already.
Yeah.
But it seems like just through the work of their own scene, they've started to bring their own players up. Yeah. Which is what's really impressive about what you can see in this.
Weeb, Tom, Ari, Jaws all doing a really good job to facilitate growth amongst the new players, the hosting. TNF, which is fantastic. That Gold Coast has a weekly now. Like that just didn't exist in Smash 4. And it's so good. You go there, it's not a free win at all.
No.
Every player, like every round, like I was there, every round was top 40 level player, even if they weren't on the 40, because they might only go to TNF, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they were good players, all good players there, and it's fantastic to see. And that not just that they're good players, but that they're having a good time, they're loving the community.
Yeah.
And that's what's even more important than, getting good at the game and all that. Like, you need to be having a good time as well.
Yeah.
And really
They've gotten that
yourself.
Queensland spirit.
Yeah.
And extended it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic to see. It'd be nice if more people came down to TNF. I need to do so myself. Battle Dolphin, like Kaidash likes to bring down Battle Dolphin and Negima.
Yeah.
So I'll try and join them more often. Can be tricky though because it starts at 5:30.
Yeah.
Like on the Gold Coast.
That's
so
rough.
you have to leave super early.
Yeah, and like most people will be
working
working
and stuff like that.
Yeah, even school.
But of course, first and foremost, cater to your local scene and what they need and what they want.
Brisbane.
And then
Friday Night Smash.
anything else. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then anything else is just extra.
Yep.
So
once MP sticks to a character, he will be top 25.
MP is very good.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff as well. I've listened to his commentary from the Rambat, and I was just really impressed by observations he made, comments he made. Some people, they might say something and it's like, I don't know how true that is. But him, it's like he was spot on. At least when I was watching, it's like he was in my head. He knew what I was going for. He knew what I wanted, and it was just really fascinating, just the insight that he provided there. It's really good.
If you message a TO, bracket starts around 6 p.m. If you're going to be late from busy, we are happy to hold up a bracket a little bit. Double check with Vi. I'm not a TO. Monkers.
Yep. Thank you very much, Sam.
So he's a cool dude. If anyone wants to come to TNF ever, hit me up.
Exactly. The offer's always there. It's a cool event. It's chill. Good people. Definitely recommend it.
No jangly on it.
No, Janglio. She's a coward. Anyway, I'm thoroughly impressed by this image. I think Lachlan carries the 40. I just want everyone to know that. Like Lachlan,
it's always somebody.
Lachlan's the MVP when it comes to the 40. I'm just there to try and help where I can. Be useless, sit around, eat donuts while he does the list. That kind of thing.
Everyone owes Lachlan a
round of applause.
Okay, yeah, no round of applause.
Yeah, and a sloppy list. No, he did a. My job is to place Battle Dolphin, which he will refuse to do because he doesn't want any bias.
That's a good idea.
Sifo, he was active this time, but he just didn't have the results. 40 is too stacked, but he's been improving, which is fantastic to see.
Yeah, I think the last 3 weeks have been really good for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
The 40 time period was August 1st to October 31st. So now this one is November 1st to January 30th.
Okay.
Or 31st, whatever it is.
All right.
21 years old, and I still don't know how many days in a month for some of the months.
I don't know. August, September, October.
But I'd like to think we did a pretty good job of this.
You did a great
40.
job.
Hopefully people...
You'll never get a perfect 40.
Hopefully people are more motivated rather than upset about their placing. I hope people at least somewhat agree.
Yeah.
It's very tricky. Like, PRs are hard enough, and now you have 30 more people you need to consider as well. So I think considering we did a pretty alright job of the list, I'm pretty happy with how it came out, and I'm very happy with the progress that everyone has made.
I like the way that you segmented them in tiers, but I think one of the ways that you can think about it is if you're somewhere in the middle or if you're somewhere in the front, just look 10 spots ahead of you, and just be like, okay, can I beat this person?
Yeah.
And then
they can all beat each other.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's just merely a matter of consistency.
Really. But that's the thing. Look 10 spots ahead of you and be like, okay, this is the pack that I'm in.
Yeah. And I can break out of this.
Yeah.
This pack.
You can jump 10 spots. Look at some of the jumps that people have made. You can jump 14 spots.
Yeah.
You can make it onto HM from 20.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it.
Mm-hmm. You can break out onto your first 40 at number 25.
Yeah.
You can do.
That's insane.
Exactly.
Yeah. All these are possible and more. Anyway.
Well, I hope that was interesting and exciting for people. Apologies for the slightly late
Any
image,
complaints? Even if
I
you
think
just...
the wait was worth it, especially for the quality of this image. Thank you, Lockie.
Yes.
Hope you didn't feel pressured time-wise and all that. You did a fantastic job.
Everyone loves it.
He put the time and care to get every single person's skin correct.
Wow.
And if you think he got one of them wrong, you're wrong. So,
yeah,
it's fantastic.
Lockie,
Absolutely
this is
fantastic
insane.
job.
Yeah,
Julia, you're fired. Lockie, you're getting a pay raise.
Any complaints at all about any of this? Even if you want to make up a complaint, make sure you hit up Ben and just as many times as possible say the same complaint.
I will pretend to have some sort of authority on it.
Over and over
to humor
him.
You.
Just over and over. Just for a month, every day.
Yep.
Complain to him. Yeah?
Fantastic.
Get it done. Get it done. All right. Anyways, guys, that comes to the end of the podcast. We've gone for 3 hours.
Damn.
And a lot of you were stuck around for the whole thing.
That was a quick 3 hours, really,
Yeah.
on my end. I hope.
It did feel like
I hope it didn't drag on for the viewers.
I got worried because
I
we were
get a bit wordy at times.
we were into the conversations we were having, and I'm not somebody who doesn't enjoy a good yarn, so it was great. We'll be back next time with me again.
I did
hopefully.
not go to Wingstop. I'm very sorry, Blast. I'll quickly fit that in.
Kill him.
Apologies for cutting you off, Declan.
No, that's all right. It's all part of the podcast. I get cut off all the time. Shouts to Ari for
Getting a bit too used to it.
yeah. Shouts to Ari for not cutting me off during the intro. Did it again.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, we love you all, and yeah, we'll see you all later. Tune in next time for more laughs and love and giggles. Yep. Bye.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. And thank you. Thank you all
very
for
much.
watching.
Thank you, Declan. Thank you for everyone supporting the scene, supporting the podcast. Thank you, Jet. Magnificent man doing everything that you do.
He's already rated. Have you
Already rated.
Oh, okay. I thought you hit the enter button.
They're not even listening to us anymore.
No, he's about to hit the... Sorry. You're welcome, son. Welcome. You're welcome, sons and daughters.
Plastic Love.
I'll be
Very
your
good
dad.
song. Very good song. Cultured man.
If I could, I'd make love to every... Cut the stream. I gotta stop myself. I love you all. Bye, everybody.
Thanks very much, Declan.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben. Thanks for coming back.
It was good. It's very nice.
I've already thanked you. We got
well.
press the right now button.
We can just keep thanking each other.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Declan.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
All right.